Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexiot's here, starting a little early because I like to get to that spot early, just like I want the Raptors to tonight when there's loose balls on the court. I want to get to those balls early before the Chicago Bulls do. So I start my stream earlier than 9:30 just on purpose. All right, let's get right into the important stuff first. Latest lineup news for tonight for the game versus the Chicago Bulls, United Center tonight. Toronto Raptors, their first road game of the 2023-2024 season. We played the Bulls in the preseason and we beat them. It was a kind of a close game, but it was really their best players were there and our best players were there. So it's a kind of a good way of testing things. Darko saying in the practice interview yesterday, and yeah, you can take some things from the game against them in the preseason, but not all of it really translates. Like, sure, we're going to see some of the same pick and roll defensive sets. We're going to see the same lineup, but mostly, you can't really carry over everything from the preseason win over the Bulls to this game. So I'm very excited about the game tonight. Of course, our one injury for the night is Christian Koloko, still out, ruled out for the game tonight for respiratory issues that are ongoing. So he is the only one listed for the Raptors. We're fully healthy otherwise. I expect the two ways to be in street clothes with Koloko, and then the rest of the guys dressed, the vets with the guys who played last time. On the other side of the ball, it's just Ball. Lonzo Ball, once again, going to miss this whole entire season because of surgeries and injuries to him. So no Lonzo, and he's the only one listed on the other side. So really pretty healthy teams for both teams, Chicago and Toronto tonight. Let's go right into the ref report. Our ref report for tonight, 3 referees. We've got an interesting assortment. We've got the cop, the lawyer, and the doctor. Yes, this is our crew chief tonight, is Jason Goebel of Miami, Florida. Jason Goebel is very much a Miami guy. Born in Miami, went to high school in Miami, went to community college in Miami, went to International University in Miami. Jason Goebel is a Miami, Mr. Miami. Favorite TV show is Power. His favorite movie is The Godfather. He loves Mark Anthony. His favorite book is Pirates in Blue. He wants some veal parmesan, and his favorite app is Netflix. He'd most like to visit Tahiti, and he wants to roll his own cigar in Cuba someday. That's not a very American thing to say, Jason Goebel. But yeah, Jason Goebel, before becoming a full-time referee, was a police officer for the Miami-Dade Police Department for 13 years. Also, his brother, John, is a referee in the NBA also. So Jason Goebel is in his 9th season as a ref. So he's the younger Goebel brother. Now, Jason does not favor us, y'all. We have a bad crew chief for us tonight. We win 50% of our games when Jason Goebel is present. Meanwhile, the Bulls win 61% of their games. So the crew chief is in favor of the Bulls tonight, guys, historically. So just so you know, the crew is not on our side today. The second ref is Brent Bernecki. He is the lawyer ref. He is in his 15th season out of Hamilton, Ohio. He went to the University of Central Florida and then Shepherd Broad College of Law. His favorite TV show is Ozark. His favorite movie is For Love of the Game. His favorite musician, Chris Botti. His favorite book, Ego is the Enemy. He would like a chicken parmesan. So what we got? We got a veal parmesan and a chicken parmesan. We're getting all parmesan up today. That's right. Favorite app is FaceTime. He'd most like to visit Italy, and his bucket list is to scuba dive at the Great Barrier Reef. As I said, Brent Bernecki has earned his Juris Doctorate from Nova Southern University, Shepherd Broad College of Law in Florida. He has experience as a civil trial lawyer. Bernecki and his wife have 3 children. Now, Brent is the only ref on our side today, and he's not really. I'll just say that right now. We have a 49% win percentage with him. So we do lose more often than we win when Bernecki's around. But the Bulls only win 41%. So this is the only favorable ref for us, and he's not a nice ref to us. So this is a little scary. Brent Bernecki, 42% win percentage with the Raptors, 41% win percentage with the Bulls. Our third ref is the doctor. That's right. Young Sayes Mehta is our third ref. He's in his 5th season out of Baltimore, Maryland. His favorite TV show is The Office. His favorite movie is Slumdog Millionaire. He loves some Bob Seger. That's right. Oh, watch your strut. Yeah, I love some good old time rock and roll. Yeah, Bob Seger. I gotta give you props, Sayesh Mehta, for being a Bob Seger fan. His favorite book is The Alchemist. Is he wants a butter chicken with a garlic naan? So we got 2 parmesans and a butter chicken. His favorite app is Spotify. He'd most like to visit South Africa. His bucket list is to play golf at Pebble Beach, and his hidden talent is badminton. I didn't know that could be a hidden talent, playing badminton. It's like a child's game. How is that a talent? I don't think that's a talent. Would you change that to pickleball now at this point? Because that's what everybody else is playing. Pickleball. It's the same thing, right? Badminton, pickleball, same thing. They just changed the name. I don't know. But anyway, so Yash Mehta is from Baltimore, and he studied neurobiology and physiology at the University of Maryland. He started his officiating career in Maryland's intramural department. So yeah, Sayesh's family is from India, and they moved to the United States in the 1980s. His father is a retired physician himself who specialized in internal medicine. Mehta speaks Hindi and Punjabi fluently. So I don't know. Maybe a super fan could talk to that rep and help us out if he's going to the game in Chicago tonight. Now, Sayesh is one of the worst refs for the Raptors in the league, y'all. He is like in the bottom 5 of winning percentages for us. We win 36% of the time when Sayesh Mehta is present, and the Bulls win 56%. So there you go. That is a huge discrepancy. So the crew chief and the young ref are not friends to the Raptors, and Brent Barnecki's barely a friend in the middle. So yeah, our ref crew is a cop, a lawyer, and a doctor. A cop, a lawyer, and a doctor. There you go. Not a favorable ref crew for us, guys. It looks like they may be trying to get Chicago a win in this game tonight. So we'll have to watch them real close. Tomorrow morning, of course, I'll do my ref report as far as like conducting how they did, whether there was ref manipulation as far as the calls and how they're calling things. So yeah, I'm not trusting this ref crew at all. I'm going to tell you all right now, this is going to be a fishy ref crew. I'm going to say that right now. All right, let me check in with y'all's comments. There's your ref report and your latest lineup news. There you go. Trevor J's first in today. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy Friday and game day. That's right. Let's go get it, Commissioner. Let's go get it. Let's get the cup, just like the Commissioner J, Trevor J in-season tournament cup that we're going to give to one of our watchers for having a team in the in-season tournament that wins. That's right. This is a frivolous trophy. I don't know. Is the in-season tournament frivolous? I don't know. Maybe it's just as frivolous as this crazy trophy that I got from Trevor J to give to one of y'all. I don't know. It may mean something too. We're going to have to find out in-season tournament. How's it going to mean something? This trophy is going to mean something. That's right. I know it will. Nako the Nachos here. Good to see Nako, my good friend Gerald. Tale of 2 opening nights with these Raptors. Had a huge celebration after the first game. The Bulls had a players-only meeting. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, Gerald. After the game, the Bulls lost, and they were upset. Like, they were not happy. There's a lot of bad things around the Bulls right now. In some ways, Billy Donovan is not fresh as the coach anymore. In some ways, the Bulls feel like they're spinning their wheels. In some ways, DeMar DeRozan is reportedly nowhere near close to the Bulls organization in contract extension talks right now. So there's a lot of kind of, Lonzo Ball does not help this situation with this team and the way they feel. It's great, Lonzo, that you feel bad that you can't play, get out there. But fuck, man, you really, really hurt this team for the last couple of years. They were really dependent on you being available and being able to play for them. In fact, that may be the whole difference between them being completely mid and being an okay team. If I was a Bulls fan, I would be annoyed because of Lonzo Ball. I would be very, very, very annoyed. In some ways, he's held up y'all's franchise for a couple of years and messed it all up. So yeah, the players weren't happy about the effort and the way they lost in their opening game. So they had a players only meeting after the first game of the season. That's insane. In some ways, people are saying, what? Right away, the beginning of the season? Man, why couldn't y'all have that players meeting earlier? No, you might have to have another players only meeting tonight after the game. I hope so. I really do. But yeah, the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors, very different dichotomies between what happened after the game the other night, for sure, Gerald. Celebrations and water dumped on our coach. And meanwhile, the other coach is told, go away. The players are having a players-only meeting where we're fighting with each other right now. Trevor J. saying, life is so fragile, and it takes a single moment to change everything. You take for granted focus on what's important, and be grateful. Live your life with no regrets. It's always good to have gratitude and practice gratefulness for the things that you have that are great in your life. The things can come and go. And it's really, really important to appreciate them while you've got them for sure. Nothing is always permanent. And in some ways, you've got to kind of, enjoy things while they last sometimes. And it's so true. Savor the good times is what I'm saying. Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Jay. Did anyone see Gary's commercial for Gillette? I haven't seen a Gary Trent Jr. Gillette commercial yet. But since Fred left, we need two new teams, Team Smooth, Team Shaved. I see that OG, because he's got the goatee this year. OG's rocking a goatee this year. He's no longer Team Shaved in the Team Gillette commercials. He's actually Team Styled now. And even Alvin was calling that in the game the other night. OG's Team Styled now for Gillette. I'm like, are you getting paid by them too, Alvin Williams? Talking about the Gillette styled and versus shaved teams that was going on last year. Fred was Team Styled last year, and OG was Team Shaved. Well, OG's got a goatee this year, so he's Team Styled. I wonder if OG's growing the goatee because Gillette told him to. That would be really weird. OG, could you wear a goatee this season so we can promote our razors? Maybe I can. Sure, why not? I want, maybe it's also I was planning on having a goatee anyway because I want to have a little bit of more evil edge to me. Yeah, put a little goatee on OG. He looks a little more villainous. Yeah, give him a little more of an aura of you should watch out for me because I've got an evil villain goatee on my face. I love it. I have not seen that Gillette commercial with Gary yet. So maybe he's stepping into Fred's spot versus OG in the Gillette commercials. But Gary's style too. OG, you might have to shave that goatee after all. We still need you to be Team Shaved. Yeah, there you go. Tom Dukas, woo, let's go. He's got that Raptor starting five out there. Big Jakob, Pascal, Scotty, OG, and Dennis. Some practice interviews yesterday with Scotty and Jakob. Jakob is like so brilliant, and he just lays it all out for us. They ask him these questions. I hate y'all, media. Y'all are idiots. Asking Jakob Poeltl, what makes you think this defense is going to be good? What the fuck, motherfuckers? You don't watch them? Come on, open your eyes. I wish these reporters would use their brains instead of acting so stupid. What do you think it makes them look like they're going to be so good? Look how tall they are. Look how long they are. Look how quick they are. How the hell are you people that cover basketball? You're so stupid. Why would you ask Jakob Poeltl, what makes you think that the Toronto Raptors defense is going to be good? You have to open your eyes, you idiots, Grange and Weisfeld and Zatzman and all you idiots in the media room. Stop asking stupid questions, Eric Kareem. Seriously, how are you going to ask Jakob Poeltl, what makes you think the defense is going to be good? Boy, you are idiots. You can't look at that. Jakob said he thinks that we're going to have one of the top defenses in the league, and I agree with him. I can see it. How come I can see it and y'all can't see it? Y'all are getting paid to cover this team, and you media idiots can't see it? You're dumbasses. In fact, it infuriates me the way they ask the questions to the players sometimes. It really does. Jakob's a badass, though. He's like, listen, it doesn't matter what y'all think. I don't listen to y'all. I don't listen to any of y'all. I only care about what we're doing and what we're going to do. And listening to y'all is stupid. I don't care what you think, is basically what he says. Y'all going to say we're not good enough? Y'all going to say we're not going to be a very good team this year? I'm not listening to you. I'm just doing my job. I'm showing up. I'm going to go to the games and I'm going to kick some ass. And then we'll see what's true and real. Media corpse and dumbasses that doubt the Raptors this year. Yeah, then we'll see what's true. But yeah, Scotty and Jakob in interviews yesterday, really good stuff with both of them. Scotty's really a company man right now. He's really bought into Darko's philosophies and system, and he's ready to explore the next level of his game and dominating and doing things. In fact, Scotty said yesterday he's a defensive player. He's not caring about offense this year. He's taking a page out of his buddy OG's book, and he's going to be a defensive first player. And I see it already. It's like everything can come from that easily. You can grow organically your offense out of your defense, Scott. So if you're a dominant defender, like these crazy blocks and just really hounding people and being annoying, Jakob described being guarded by Scotty yesterday. He said it's annoying. It's very, very annoying because in some ways you don't know exactly how to game for it because he can guard you any kind of different way and use different skills to hurt you, whether it's strength, speed, or length. And I love that. It's true. It's true. And how dare you reporters ask them what makes them think they're going to have a good defense this year? What makes them think? What do you mean? High IQ, extreme level talent, really quick to learn, buying into the system, staying together. I mean, he went through the laundry list of why we're going to have a good defense this year. And if y'all can't get it through your thick skulls, can we get new people in there asking the questions? Because y'all sound so stupid when you ask, what makes you think you're going to have a good defense this year? I don't know. We're all very tall and have crazy wingspans. I don't know. I love what Darko said yesterday. He said, might as well just give the defensive all defensive team to the starting lineup of the Raptors this year. This man's advocating for his players to get awards already. I don't know. Scotty's saying, I'm the best defender in the league. I want to win a defensive player of the year. And him saying this, putting it out there in the ether will make it happen more likely. If he doesn't say stuff like this, he may never get any recognition or any kind of look at for this. So I like that he's tooting his own horn, just like OG did last year, and he got a second team all defensive. So y'all toot your horns. Maybe they'll pay more attention and they'll actually will vote for y'all and put y'all on all defensive teams or defensive player of the year. I love what Darko said, advocating for his guys, saying you might as well make the all starters for all of our starters the defensive team for this year. He said all of them. He even named Pascal and Dennis in it. And I agree with him. We have a very good starting defensive lineup. We really, really do. I love it so much. All right, Tom Duke saying, let's get another W. That's right, W time. Yeah, these refs may not be on our side tonight, Tom, but that's the thing. We're going to be so good. We can beat the Bulls and beat the referees tonight is what I'm going to predict for tonight. I still say 104-94, the Raptors over the Bulls tonight by 10 points. That is my official prediction from yesterday, and I'm holding to it. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex. Bam, in the Raptor Freaks. Bull streaks? Oh, bull steaks. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't read that. Bull steaks off the cast iron skillet or bull burgers. Your choice. Darko said dinner starts at 8 p.m. There you go. Get that dinner bell out there, Cowboy. Ding, 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 ding for 8 o'clock. We're going to eat some bull. Yeah, no bullshit. We're going to eat some bull burgers and some bull steaks off that cast iron skillet that Cowboy keeps talking about. Yeah, I like it. And Cowboy's saying, let's go. And he's got our lineup out there. And look, there's Marquise Noel. I love it. I see Tom always puts little gifts in the emoticons every morning. Somebody new. And there's Marquise. We asked for Marquise yesterday, and we get Marquise. We love you, Mr. New York City. That's right. Keep going, man. The 905 will be starting their season in about a week from now, and then we'll get to see more Marquise at that point. But yeah, don't expect them much right now. It really is because we're healthy. The team is healthy. Thank God. I'm going to hope for that all year. The 905ers do not need to be activated right now. Cowboy saying, let's go. I love it. And there's Monique being put on blast by Cowboy also there. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Cowboy saying, should be a great game. Should see a lot of bully ball tonight. I hope so. I mean, we do have a size advantage over the Bulls. All right, Vucevic versus Pirtle. That's a pretty even matchup. That's pretty even. Patrick Williams is a Florida State player, and he may be getting Scotty Barnes. And they know each other to a degree. So Patrick Williams and Scotty Barnes, that's a win for us. We know Scotty Barnes is way better than Patrick Williams. We got guys that can lock up DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. You got Pascal, you got OG, you got Scotty, Precious, Gary, different people that can do different things with them. OG versus DeMar is a big matchup. DeMar jokes that OG fouls him every time that he guards him. But, let's be truthful here. OG does have some success to a degree against DeMar. Not many people do in this league. But in some ways, we can look at DeMar and Zach LaVine's stat lines today and see the OG effect. And hopefully we'll see a lowered field goal percentage for both of them and something similar to what happened with Anthony Edwards on the first game. Just a lot of shots, not making a lot of them. And really because he's getting contested and annoyed and shadowed and just all over him. OG. Yeah. So OG, you go get DeMar tonight. You have a lot of experience chasing Mr. DeRozan around, one of our greatest Raptors of all time. And I want to see you shut this man down. Even though we love him so much, you got to shut him down tonight, OG. That's right. Shut down DeMar. That is a big, 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 big goal for tonight. Yeah. Let's see. Cowboys saying a win is a win, but I'm guessing Raps by 9. Okay, so that sounds about the same as me. I'm saying 10 points for the Raps. You're saying 9. Okay, that's about right. Let's see. Trevor's saying we got this one tonight. He's got the lineup out there. I love it. Who's that? Bobby Webster. Oh, yeah, Bobby Webster at the end there. I like it. Cowboys saying, did anyone catch the fan at front row at the Lakers game dressed like he's from Goth Tron movie? No, I didn't see that fan or that clip. I did not. So I cannot comment on that. Nako saying Crave over Netflix. How about YouTube over both of them? That's right. I cut the Netflix cord like 5 years after I cut the cable cord. I haven't had cable in like 10 years, and I haven't had Netflix in a long time either. I've been cutting them cords. Yeah, okay, Crave's pretty good from what I hear. Disney Plus, there's so many different streaming services at this point. Amazon Prime, it is what it is. Netflix did go downhill in recent years. I will agree to that. It has gone downhill. Oh, yeah, it has. It used to be so awesome. I was a big Netflix person in the 2000s. I was getting those discs in the mail. It wasn't streaming service yet. I was so happy when I go to the mailbox and I get like something like a crazy anthology of like Hilarious House of Frightenstein in the mail. I'm like, oh, the Frightenstein came, and I can watch it on DVD in my house. So I'm like an original Netflix person. Really was into when it was a disc service, when they were sending it to your house in the mail. Cowboys saying, come on, Coloco, get better. Would love to see what he would do with this team under Darko. Also hope Boucher gets some minutes tonight. Yeah, I think he will. I'm not worried about Chris. Chris is going to be fine. Chris needs this kind of adversity. Sometimes when this kind of thing happens to Chris, you get the best out of Chris. So Darko knows what he's doing, and he has a long-term plan is what he's saying. Sometimes when he decides these things, is what he's saying is there's a big picture to it. And he even alluded to that he is going to focus on developing the young guys. So this may be the flavor of how he does things, is that like these guys are really reserves just in case. Thaddeus, Otto, Garrett, and even Chris to a degree. And that he doesn't really, I don't know. The way he said it was very interesting. He's like, I have a long-term vision of developing certain players in certain places. I don't want to read too much into that Chris is somebody who's not a part of his long-term plans. But you can kind of like look into that. And I don't know. We'll see. Let's just let things happen as they're supposed to. And Chris is going to get his chance. And hopefully he excels. He's a badass. And we keep our Canadian content on our team. Because I do want Chris on this team. If he's the only Canadian citizen on our team right now, that's no good. Masai and Bobby, go get another Canadian. There's 28 of them in the league. You can get another one. Trust me, get one of them. I don't care how you do it. Just trade or draft another one this year or something. I don't know. Let's see. Dana is here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Canadian Dana. I am Canadian, and we are in Chicago tonight to play the Bulls, and we want to give them the blues. That's right. Give them the blues. My brother, Carl Otts, is back. That's 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row of Carl Otts today. I love it. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, my young brother. My brother, I love you. I love you, Carl. I love you. And I love your son and your daughter and your wife and your whole family. I love you guys so much. And I'm going to be so happy to see y'all around Christmas for sure. Yes, Carl Otts is a real one. He's put that Raptors head on blast. And I love you, Carl, so much. That's the understatement of the year right there. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Game day, let's go, Cool Cat, TGIF, and you got a game day. And not only that, they get to play 2 games because they're playing tomorrow against Nick Nurse against Adrian Griffin last night. The big battle, the 2 new coaches of Eastern Conference rivals to the Raptors. Adrian Griffin versus Nick Nurse. Milwaukee versus Philadelphia last night. James Harden, dumpster fire, dumpster fire, dumpster fire. The Sixers are already being investigated for James's absence in the game last night and how it works with this new resting policy. The specific thing that is important is a national TV game, and they shouldn't have any stars out if they're healthy. Well, James is healthy. In some ways, he screwed them up real bad. He goes away. He doesn't want to be around them, but he doesn't want to get fined for missing important events. If he shows up, so he shows up. And he's like, well, wait, you didn't do any practice with us. You're not ready. I don't care. I'm ready to play. Let me play. Let me get on the plane. No, you're not getting on the plane. What? Well. That wheel is spinning and more outcomes happen from it. Now they're in trouble, it looks like. So, James, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you do. Yeah, keep doing what you do, James Harden. And then, 1 point loss for Nick Nurse in his debut as the Sixers coach to his apprentice. The man who was studying underneath him, his assistant coach, Adrian Griffin, beating him and getting his debut win. I wonder if he got a nice bath like Darko did last night. Maybe, maybe. I didn't see any of the footage, but yeah, I'm sure Adrian got a good little party time for his first ever NBA victory, also over his mentor, his old boss, Nick Nurse. So yeah, I love that Nick failed in his first game. And you know what? We saw everything that we knew he was going to do in the first game. He overplayed his starters. Yeah. And the Sixers reporters are saying there's no ball movement out there like he promised. That's right. He lied to y'all. Y'all find out in the first game already. He's going to overplay your starters, and you ain't going to have no ball movement. Y'all foolish, Sixers Nation. You thought you were getting this and that. No, you're not. You're getting the terrorist, Nick Nurse. Yeah, now you will learn his terrorism from within. Instead of the terrorists coming after you with his defense, he's going to be doing the terrorism within your organization to poor old Joel Embiid's knees. Yeah, so good game, Milwaukee Bucks. It was a little close. I wanted y'all to just blow them out. Come on, Lillard. Come on, Anaconto. Do better. Do better. But y'all won. That's good. That's what it'll take right there. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Tom Duke has got the food ready for the refs. He's got the cheese with Darko. Darko with cheese. What? And there's a cow and there's 2 chicken heads. And I think that's Sticky. No, that's the chef. Okay. All right. That sounds cool. That's Facts here. Good to see That's Facts. Thanks for the subscription the other day. Every morning, 9:30, we're going to be talking about Raptors on this channel, live streaming. And we every day, open forum for your comments to get read and acknowledged and talked about. So let's see what That's Facts talking about. Cheers to whoever gifted me a sub. Let's go Raps. There you go. This is a benevolent channel of a lot of very giving people, and there's always gifted subscriptions. So I appreciate you. That's Facts. And I'd love to hear some facts from your mouth. So please, more comments, if you will. Please let me know what you think about this game tonight against the Bulls for the Raptors. I love it. Yeah. Stat prediction or maybe a point total. Yeah. Quick Takes is here. NBA Quick Takes is in the house. I love NBA Quick Takes so much, y'all. Follow NBA Quick Takes YouTube channel. So many quick takes on the NBA, and especially since the season has started, it's time for Quick Takes to rev up that engine and get his YouTube channel revved up because he's got a lot of takes to make because there's a lot going on. We love you, Quick Takes. Give him a subscription, y'all. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Been a minute, but I'm back up in it. Let's get it. 100% Quick Takes. That's right. And I appreciate you playing in our Yahoo Fantasy League. And we wish you luck in that and all the luck in the world for you and your YouTube channel for sure, my friend. Yeah, G saying Dennis's vlogs are great. The opening with Toronto Views is amazing. And when they talked about his scoring, he said he doesn't care about the points. He just cares about winning. Yes, Dennis Schroeder with his game day vlogs are going to be coming out like fire. They're going to be so awesome. Monique is already like in cloud 9 with the access and the information and the privacy that we get, the intimacy we get with Dennis Schroeder in his life is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And I love that part. It's like it's after the game and he's eating his post-game meal the chef has made. And it's like chicken wings and some really good meal. And there's it's not his son. I think it's like Joel's son, his helper. Joel is his assistant that helps him and Ellen in their household. And he has some children himself. And they come to the games and they hang around too. And it's like, I think that's who that was. I think that's Joel's son he's talking to. And he's saying, listen, he wants to teach him a lesson. He said, listen, it's not important how many points you score. It's about whether you win or not. And that's what Dennis is teaching this young man on his clip. And I love that. He's like, listen, and I've been saying this for years, and I've been trying to tell Raptors fans to listen to this. It's not about how many points our guys score. Who cares how much they score? If we just win, that's all that matters. And Dennis is on the same page with me. Yeah, it was cool watching him go and look at the box score and kind of look at the stuff right after the game. He said some very glowing things about our city once again. He's in heaven, y'all. He's really happy he came to Toronto. He thinks he made the absolute best decision with his career right now. He cannot get over how much energy and we bring to the building as a crowd and how much it is so fun to play at Scotiabank Arena. Darko and Dennis are reveling in the newness of our building and our fan energy. And they absolutely appreciate what we're bringing. So keep bringing it, y'all. Y'all been kicking ass this year already. This season started, and the press is telling everybody the Raptors going to be bad, but the fans don't give a fuck. They're showing up and bringing the support the right way anyway. I love that about y'all. If the Blue Jays or the Leafs, in some ways, they get sullied in the press and say, oh, they're going to have a below 500 year or something like that. Sometimes the fans don't show up and start coming to the game. So I appreciate the real ones riding with the Raptors no matter what, even though the media is telling everybody they're not going to be that good this year. They're not going to be that good. Well, tell our fans when they show up, they're going to get loud no matter what. We don't give a fuck. We're going to do what we do. That's right. Yeah, Dennis's vlogs are amazing, and get used to them. They're awesome. Now, the section that Dennis's family's sitting in is like 113 over there in the corner on the opposite side of the 100 level from the bench for the Raptors. And they're sitting next to an aisle, and they're trying to film Dennis playing in the game, but people are walking up and down the stairs right there. So Dennis, maybe flip them to the next section over so they're not with the aisle right in front with all these jabronis getting up in the middle of the game. That's another thing I can't stand. What is more important, watching the next OG highlight or Scotty Dunk, or going to get some soda or a beer or a popcorn or something like that? Stay in your damn seat when you're in the game. Seriously, because not only are you getting up and doing whatever the fuck you're running around doing, you're causing people to not be able to watch the game very well. I wish y'all would treat this like a movie. Seriously. Come into the game, sit down, and watch the whole thing and sit in your damn seat the whole time. Everybody who gets up like 5 or 6 times during a basketball game, fuck you. Why are you getting up so much? Are you drinking a lot and you have to piss all the time? I don't know what it is. People that jump in and out of their seats at Raptor games, just stop. Just stop. You're there to watch a basketball game. Sit down and watch it instead of getting up out of your seat, getting in people's way all the time. Like, oh, I got to go do this now. I got to go do this. I don't fucking know what you're doing. Just watch the game. You came to watch the basketball game, sit in your damn seat and watch it. So, yeah, that's my gripe from Dennis's thing, is that people are getting in the way of them shooting the highlights because they're coming up and down. I can get the beer guy like William, my friend William, the intern. But a lot of y'all should not be in those aisles up and down, especially when the game is going on. People are trying to watch the game. They pay money for the tickets, and they don't want to see your goofy ass walking back and forth to the concession stand or the bathroom. We really don't want to see you like that. Yeah, so just sit in your damn seat. They got the hours, there's 2-hour games now. It's like a movie. You go to the bathroom once during the movie, that's fine. But if you're up like 5 or 6 times during the game, just sit in your damn seat. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. It's game day. That's right, Fiercey. Let's get hyped. Let's get hyped. Let's go. I'm so hyped for today. That's right. G saying also said Toronto is amazing and likes how the fans don't tear a player apart after one game. I was thinking, is he sure about that? But I guess being a Laker, mistakes were much more magnified. I think it's the difference between Laker Nation and the Raptor Nation that he's signifying right here is that, Laker Nation's super hypercritical and in some ways immature and childish. And they really go crazy. Like they really care, but in some ways they're toxic how they care. They're similar to New York fans and how they can be toxic. They can be toxic because they're overly critical. And then if things aren't exactly right, they'll turn on their players too easily. That's part of what we don't want to be like in Raptors Nation. And Dennis is right. We're nicer in some ways than other fan nations, even if it doesn't seem like it, because we're in the deepest, darkest parts of Twitter, seeing the really ugly, toxic Raptor fans also. I think there's percentages to this. And with Dennis's perception saying that the Raptors fans are much nicer than Lakers fans, that probably is true. It probably is true from the, from dealing with things. But hopefully nobody's ugly to him from Raptors Nation, and that changes his opinion on this. Yeah, none of this bullshit like, I hope your mom dies, Fred. Yeah, fuck that shit. Fans that are like that towards our players, you're not fans. You're psychos. And you're kind of pieces of garbage also. Threatening family members of players because they don't play well. What is wrong with y'all? Seriously. What's wrong with people that do that? There you go. Quick Takes is saying, shout out to Team Stubble. Team Stubble, I think I'm on Team Stubble right now. Yeah, there's some stubble there. Man, a blind person might be able to read a book on my face right now. Yeah. Oh, it's Jack and the Beanstalk. Shane Waters saying, good morning, friends. This is a very scary defensive force. Let's fucking go. I agree. I think that this isn't lip service, and people need to really listen to our team when they're saying they think that they could be one of the best defensive teams in the league. I believe it. The personnel is right. Dennis is a huge upgrade for our defense in certain ways with a full court press and picking up quick little guards anywhere they are on the court. This is a huge difference. And then plus the difference in the system with how they can play them, it may get better out of our talent than the system that Nick was running last year. So I fully believe what Jakob's saying. I think Darko said it too yesterday. He thinks that this team's going to be one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league. I agree. I can see it already. And it'll be signified in the field goal percentage of the opposing teams and their total points by the end of the game. You'll see it there. That's where you'll see the mark of the truth. Let's see. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Tonight's going to be a tough game. The Bulls are coming off a loss that had them already having team meetings, so they want to bounce back. Yeah, this was alluded to by Darko in his interview yesterday. He's fully aware of the dysfunction of the Bulls right now and how they really want to bounce back, and they're going to be hungry to get one. So he said it's going to be competitive because, of course, we want to get another win also. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. In some ways, the Bulls are in trouble. If they don't get good feelings going, confidence can be lost, and a lot of things can go really bad for them already in the beginning of the season right away. We want to not have any mercy for them. We want to kick their ass. We want them to feel worse after the game. I love you, DeMar, but honestly, I'm sorry, bro. In some ways, I want you to get out of Chicago. I don't think if you guys are lining up on your contract, I think you going to the next chapter is a good one in the next level. In some ways, I don't know which team that is, but in some ways, I wish better for you, DeMar, before you retire. And I know you're not going to get it in Chicago. It's Lonzo Ball's fault in a lot of ways. And in some ways, you need to just go and get the fuck out of Chicago as soon as you can, is what I'll say right now. Yeah. Let's see. G saying Dame went 9 for 20, but had 17 free throws. I hate that I'm saying this, but watching the game, they were not going to let the Bucks lose. Nurse looks stressed. Yeah, that's a fishy thing. The amount of free throws, and he was perfect at the line. Holy crap. Dame Lillard, amazing. Shooting 17 for 17 at the free throw line last night. Yeah, Knicks looks stressed. Well, he's going to be stressed all year. He's going to be stressed all year. He's really lucky he got Kelly Oubre. I'm going to say that right now. The Sixers are really lucky they picked up Kelly Oubre as just kind of an add-on near the beginning of the season. He's going to be so important to them, obviously. We saw him go off for them off the bench last night, really pushing their scores. We saw them play Joel Embiid the whole first quarter. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Yeah, keep going, Philly. We're going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all get the night off. And so you're not going to be on a back-to-back. We'll be on a back-to-back. See, it's kind of screwy how the NBA scheduled things in certain ways to help people. Well, hopefully this won't matter. And we're just going to be tuned up and ready and kick y'all's ass tomorrow night too. But first things first, Billy Donovan and the Bulls tonight at United Center. Then tomorrow, we'll start talking about the Sixers coming to Toronto tomorrow night. That's right. That's right. Nurse looks stressed? Good. First game, butthole face is out. That's right. Lesline is here. Good to see Lesline Hart, one of our great Raptor freaks. We love you, Lesline. I hope you're having a great Friday. And everything is good in your world. That's right. We love Lesline. Let's see. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. We know that our team is way better than the media says. Let's prove them all wrong. That's right. Slight us. Doubt us. Put us down, put the betting lines all against us, and let's bet on the Raptors and make a lot of money. That's how you do it. That's right there. That's it. Stargate saying the Toronto basketball media is an embarrassment. It's these individuals that allow this false perception of the American basketball heads still have about us and knowing basketball up here. You know, in some ways, I wish they would fight the good fight and be more prideful for Canada in certain ways, but they just don't. I don't know what it is. In some ways, listen, it's against what their personal interests are for the future. A lot of Canadian broadcasters kind of dream about jumping the border and becoming broadcasters on the American side. Now, if they're anti-American or they're saying things that are certain ways or certain things, well, they may not get the kind of consideration for jobs on that side of the border. So in some ways, they kiss the American media's ass just on the prospect of hopefully getting a job down there at some point. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Stargate? Why they would be like this? Because in some ways, you know, Canada's great and you could be good in Canada, but whoa, if you could go to TNT or ESPN or something like that, that's big time, baby, in the US. So in some ways, that's part of the reason why these assholes are like this. I don't know. I wish there was more of what you're talking about and being more prideful about Toronto and Canada sports in general, instead of just kowtowing and being ass kissers and bootlickers towards the U.S. media. Yeah. Quick take saying came across a blog claiming the Raptors are becoming irrelevant. What does that even mean? That's the story that was an opinion article in Toronto Sun by Steve Simmons. It was brought up the other day that he's saying that the Raptors are irrelevant. How is that true? I mean, I can give you a couple of reasons why they're not. Okay, Simmons, even though you want them to be unsuccessful and go away and be a huge failure, you're not looking at the reality. You can go, la, 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 I'm not listening. I'm not listening. It doesn't matter what the noise is still there. It's just because you're not hearing it. That team is the most valued sports franchise in the country of Canada right now. How can you say that's irrelevant? Well, if we go by that logic, this team's the most valued team. That means all the Canadian sports teams and all sports are irrelevant because they're not worth as much as the Raptors. The Raptors are worth the most out of every damn team in this country, including the Maple Leafs, Steve Simmons. So you tell me how irrelevant they are. You tell me the global reach of the fan nation of the Raptors, where we've got a person in every single country and city in this world. We've got Raptors all over the place. You tell me if that's irrelevant. You tell me the profits and the merchandise sales. You tell me the people coming to that game and getting loud. You tell me they're irrelevant. You tell me what's irrelevant, Steve Simmons, or whatever the fuck your name is, you asshole. Yeah, you go ahead and keep blocking it all out and acting like, oh, it's all irrelevant. What do you mean? You think we're irrelevant for the NBA this year to compete? That's crazy too. Just because y'all don't understand the animal we are, you can't identify the species, doesn't mean we don't exist. El Chupacabra may exist. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Maybe we are El Chupacabra, and you can't figure us out because you can't get a handle on us. You can't get a carcass body in the night. And you can't say, what is this animal? We have no idea what this team is. They make no fucking sense. Is it El Chupacabra? Okay, you don't understand us. We're irrelevant. Okay, you go ahead and keep thinking that. And reality will hit real quick on the realness of that. Yeah, I don't understand Steve Simmons. He's a hockey guy, obviously. He's an anti-Raptor guy. Maybe he's working for Ed Rogers. I don't fucking know. He's an old idiot, and he should not be listened to. Let's just put it that way. Fiercey Salcer, he's irrelevant. How about that? Fiercey Salcer's got our starting lineup on blast. I love seeing that. Nameless is saying Christian Coloco is done for the year, and they're not telling us. We're not stupid, Bobby. Let's not fill in the blanks. Listen, if they're going to handle it the right way, trust in Bobby and Messiah, Nameless, and we'll just allow Coloco's whatever's going to happen. We'll find out on a need-to-know basis. When we need to know, we'll know. Can you be okay with not knowing what's going on with Coloco and just allow things to be the way they are? Can you just be okay with praying for him to get better and show up on the court sooner than later? That's what we can do as fans. There's no reason to further speculate this. And honestly, it's none of our business right now. In some ways, we need this young man to get healthy and get out on the court. And we don't need to ruin his career with over speculating or trying to fill in the blanks for ourselves. I hope he's okay and he's back out there as soon as possible. Cool Cat saying, not to slight Fred, but Levine won't have a size advantage anymore like he did during the play-in last season. That may be a good point for today's game. Thank you, Cool Cat. Zach LaVine has been a problem for the Raptors in games when we play them in recent years. And he continues to be. In some ways, we can handle DeMar a little bit better than Zach, but some reason Zach goes off. And we can't have a repeat of what happened in the play-in game earlier this year, where Zach LaVine absolutely took over in the second half and won a game where we had a good lead on it. In some ways, tonight is the real get-back game against the Bulls for the play-in debacle and that embarrassment of how we went out last year. And they need to take that energy and feel it tonight. They really, really do. In some ways, the Bulls are in a weird place. They're kind of circling their wagons and trying to help themselves to be okay. We need to be like aggressive and hurt them, tear it apart, and really take it out on them, the misery of losing to them in the play-in last year. Every single one of them. Scotty, you need to remember how you felt after that game, embarrassed like that, and the screeches of the young girl next to the court. You need to remember how this felt, Jakob. Unfinished business, as you said, and why you re-signed with us. Well, this is the team that messed y'all up and put y'all out last year. And you need to get up for this because this matters. This really does matter. And some of this is get it back. It is get back. I agree. I think we can handle Levine a little bit better with the new personnel that we've got on this team. I don't know if it's Dennis. Maybe it's Gary. Maybe it's just OG straight up shadowing Zach LaVine a bit. And Scotty is taking care of other people and Pascal, or I don't know. We'll see. Nameless is saying we're the smartest group of people in the smartest fan base. Well, there you go, Nameless. All right. Toot your horn. Toot my horn. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but in some ways, let's have an ego. I mean, let's have kind of let's have some kind of what's the word? Humbleness, I guess. Let's be humble here. Trevor's saying we got Chicago Bulls tonight, and tomorrow night we got Humpty Dumpty and the Sixers. That's pretty funny. I like that. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Yeah. Isaac saying break the Bulls. Break the Bulls. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that for sure. For sure. I love the talk that they're talking about the best defender on the team. And Scotty wants to be the best defender. Precious wants to be the best defender. OG wants to be the best defender. They're all talking about I can guard 1 through 5. They're all saying the same damn thing. I love this internal competition on the Raptors for like defense, being the best defender between Precious, OG, and Scotty. It's hilarious. And on the download, Siakam's involved in this competition too. And you know, Pirtle's not a bad defender either. It's a really, really good team. Stargate saying it's pretty sad that our own Canadian basketball media has no respect for this team. I expect this from the American basketball media, but when the Canadian basketball media is also seems suspect. Well, once again, we got to realize that half the media is owned by Ed Rogers, and there are all kinds of weird, ways that they try and fuck up the Raptors with perception and weirdness. It's always been this way. It's better now than it used to be. In some ways, the fans get it, and they trust the team, and they were bona fide. Before, when it was unsure if the Raptors were any good, like around the Bosch era or just after Vince or in the early expansion years, the media could really shape how people felt about the team. But the secret's out now. They can say all this bullshit and say this, but the Raptors fans will realize that they're a lot better than the media tells them. And because that's just how it's been for like 15 years now. It's just been this way. So it's like we take everything the media says about the Raptors with a grain of salt at this point, because they're always wrong is basically why right there. G saying, I think with Chris, it was a matchup issue with the Wolves. He could have been knocked around. Guess we will see tonight, but I think he'll play. This is a good point. You know, if I really think about it, Chris is not a good matchup for Gobert and Cat. Those guys are stronger in some ways, and their length beats Chris's length. So in some ways, the best thing about Chris, his length, is negated against Cat and Gobert. So I think this is spot on what G said here. And this really makes sense in my mind when he said it, that it may have been a very specific matchup issue with Chris against the Timberwolves 2 bigs, and that it wouldn't make sense to play him out there. And he may have been at a detriment. Who knows? Maybe they would have muscled him and got more out of Gobert and Towns down low if we had showed them Chris in the game. So that may be very smart matchup decision making, and that's why Chris didn't play last game. That's really smart point, G. I'm going to give you a dunk for a very astute observation that is probably right, is what I'm going to say right here. We're not just going to give dunks for wittiness. We'll give it for insight and smartness too. That's definitely a good one right there. Cool Cat saying Nick Nurse versus Griffin. The teams were using similar play styles. It was so funny to see Griffin use the Raptors Embiid trap. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. In some ways, it is the Nick Nurse team. It's still the Nick Nurse team, even though the personnel is completely different. I think it's hilarious. Like at one point, I heard that in the Sixers game, that Nick was yelling at them to get more aggressive, and nobody listened to him, and nobody gave him the kind of effort the Raptors would have last year in that same situation. He wanted to do an aggressive trap, and he was yelling at them to blitz, and nobody reacted to it. Nobody. He was yelling specifically at Joel, and his ass didn't move for him. He did not move for him. This is exactly what I was predicting is going to happen with the Sixers, is he's going to want a certain level of effort out of his players, and he's just not going to get it. Whether it's Harden just not even showing up correctly, whether it's Embiid being a lazy ass on the court, and partly because he's just so big, he can't. He physically can't move that like Nick wants him to. So, yeah, it's very interesting stuff going on there. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. After watching last night's game, I can see why the Raptors were pursuing Lillard. His dribble penetration and shot selection is next level. Yeah. I mean, he's a butt plus on any team. He has to winning. He's not like a hurtful person. He's going to be good. And he would have been great on the Raptors. He would have been great, but it wasn't a good fit. He didn't want to be here. That's the main important thing. We don't want people to come here that don't really want to be here. Seriously. In some ways, it can work, like with Kawhi. But for the most part, we don't want people that aren't dedicated or interested in enjoying the great things about being in Toronto, like Dennis Schroeder. He's really embracing it and he loves it. We don't want somebody coming up here and being like, yeah, I wish I was in the States, being some kind of xenophobe, even though he's playing for the Canada team. We've had many American xenophobes play for the Raptors in our history that have really weird views about Canada that still are to this day, even though they came up here and played here. There's just an American exceptionalism kind of bullshit that is programmed and propagandized into young Americans that is hard to get around at certain points because they're just so propagandized and just full of shit with how they raise people down there with this American exceptionalism, the America number one, America this, America that. In some ways, that's part of the problem is they're taught to look down on everyone else in the entire world other than their own country. And that's part of the problem right there. Let's see. Cool Cat is saying that I must commend Giannis telling Dame to do your thing. It's Dame time. Dame mentioned how flattered he was. That's cool. I like that. I know another really interesting thing that happened in the game last night with our new coaches from our Raptors going to other places. Adrian Griffin at one point pulled Giannis out of the game last night, and Giannis told him, no, I want to stay in the game, and he overrode him. That's right. Griffin pulled him out of the game, and he's saying, I want to pull you out right now and have you sit for a second. And Giannis basically told him, nope, you're not. I want to go right back in the game right now. And because this is what I want to do out there right now and right now. And Adrian said, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You go back in. That was very interesting to me. Yeah, we see who's running things there. We know Giannis is running things there. But that was hilarious. Coach Griff tried to pull him out of the game, and Giannis said, nope, denied. I am going back in. That was very interesting to see that. Raps Love's here. Good to see Raps Love, a great Raptor freak. The big crybaby, Mr. Fake MVP from last year, looks checked out. He doesn't want to be playing in Philadelphia anymore. I would tell him to do his thing if somebody was giving me $180 million for 3 years. Dame, yeah. Giannis talking to Dame, that's great. They're going to be a great partnership as far as friends and things, but I don't know how it'll add up to their win total this season compared to last year. In some ways, that's what I'm going to be comparing them to. Budenholzer and the Bucks last year and their amazing record, and how they do with Griffin his first year with Lillard instead of Drew Holiday. They may have less wins this year than they do last year. That's the thing I'm predicting this year, that even though they made these changes, that the Bucks may lose more this year than they did last year. They may still be the top team in the East, but I don't think they're going to have as many wins as they did last year. Seriously, I really do believe that. The stuff about Embiid is hilarious. Yeah, this is just the first game. They worked so hard. How do you think they feel? Nick ran them so hard, and they lost by 1 point. This is feeling like how the Raptors felt last year. You work so damn hard. You bust your ass all game, and it's a close game, and you just lose just slightly right at the fucking end of the game. That's how we felt a lot of games last year. Joel, strap in and get used to it. Get used to it. Working so hard and coming up with nothing at the end of it. Watch. That's going to happen a few times to you. Carlo JS is saying, morning, fellow freaks. I wonder how the Raps stack up against Giannis and Dame. Well, we're going to find out next week. Carlo JS. Milwaukee Bucks will be playing against us next, I think it's next Wednesday. We play them next Wednesday night. So be ready for that. November 1st, Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not sure the game is here or in Milwaukee, but we play them first. And then the next night, we play Philadelphia again. We play Philly twice this week. We play them tomorrow and next Thursday. So, yeah, they're putting a lot of Philly on us at the beginning. That's why we need to jump all over them and kick their ass right now when they don't have things straight yet. Kareem saying, yesterday's media availability has shown that Scottie and Jakob are so invested on being top 5 defense. I'm getting 2004 Pistons vibes. No superstar, just great team chemistry, all wanting the same goal. I love that. I love that kind of analogy. I think we have way more talent than that team. Some people consider that Pistons team the greatest defensive team in the history of the NBA. I don't. I mean, they're pretty good. Don't get me wrong. But in some ways, I would call the original Detroit championship team a better defensive team in some ways. I don't know. In some ways, I don't like that Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups team. I like the old Pistons championship team. But I do respect that they won a championship in an unorthodox way. in some ways when the league didn't want them to win that way. And if we can kind of do things like that Pistons team in 2004 this year, that would be awesome. Yeah, I would be all about that. And it sounds like these guys, it's defense first. And that's so good. That is so good for us. Evelyn's saying, "Good morning, Raptor Freak family. I'm so worried about Koloko. Hope nothing serious. Praying for him in a big W against the Bulls. Let's go, Raptors." You go, Granny Evelyn. Yes, please. Please. Maybe if you could go visit Koloko with Prince Toussaint, and maybe Prince Toussaint can work his magic on Koloko. That would be fantastic. A therapy dog. We get some Prince Toussaint magic on Koloko, and all of a sudden he's back out in the lineup. That'd be awesome, Evelyn. Yeah, MSJ saying, "I think OG knows DeMar's game. Just stop Zach, an easy win." Yeah, they know DeMar very well, and DeMar knows them very well. And it's a nice battle. It's a very good battle. It's pretty even in some ways. But, in some ways, we do stop DeMar pretty good. We do. We'll have to see. The first half, it could be that he's going off a little bit, and then we shut him down, kind of like Anthony Edwards. And then, like with Levine, it's really later in the game. We need to absolutely contain him because he's the kind of person that sprouts up and causes problems like in bursts. And all of a sudden he'll hit a three, and then he's got a layup, and then boom, all of a sudden Zach LaVine's got 10 points in like the last 5 minutes of game that just happened. And we need to shut him down late. So in some ways, it's like shutting down DeMar early and getting him stopped so he doesn't establish himself to have a huge game. And then watching out for Zach late in the game, like in the playing game when he just went off and took over and won the game. Those are two keys to the victory for today. Is watch DeMar early and watch Zach late is what I'm saying right here. Yeah. Raps Love saying most of the Gen Z fans really care about the box score and use the and we use the eyes test. Dennis said the fans don't get all over him if he has a bad game. They ride with him no matter what. Well, it's still early and everything's bright and rosy, honeymoon period. I hope that it never gets to this point where our fans turn on Dennis or any of our other guys this year. But they can have this proclivity. So success begets success and keeps all that kind of bullshit away. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't want anybody in our fan nation being ugly to our new Raptors. Let's let them have the honor and respect that they deserve when they go out there and play so hard for us. Y'all are ungrateful the way you turn on players so quickly and put them down for no reason. There's no reason to do that. And I really want Raptors Nation to be less toxic and more supportive and nice to everybody, because that's the way to be as a fan. You're not a fan if you're putting your team down all the time and not treating them with support. If you're deriding them or putting them down or really, really overly critical, that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. All right, let's see. Infamous is saying Dennis said something very interesting in his vlog. He mentioned that when the players are playing bad, our fans are still behind them being encouraging instead of booing and name calling. That may be an allusion to the Lakers nation and them turning real quickly. I mean, he has been in the Lakers team where there'd been really fucked up, toxic stuff around the team with Russell Westbrook and different things going on with that. So he saw the firsthand the Russell hate from last year. And that is a really good example of a difference between us and them, is we didn't have anything like the Russell Westbrook hate going on around our team. So that may be part of it right there. Kareem Thomas is saying, agreed at Raps Love. These new casuals are invested on stats and hoping they can hit the parlay. Not much real fans anymore. And these advertisers know what they're doing to fuck up these viewers. Well, this is what I'm saying. Some people have said this recently, and I agree with them. If you become a player fan first, that's part of the problem. Is being a team fan is the best way to be in this league. Now, if you start becoming a fan of sports because of betting, you're even worse toxic kind of fan. The kind of fan that will send Chris Boucher DMs on his Instagram saying, you didn't get me 2 more rebounds and I lost $3,000. Fuck you. That's the thing. It's different kinds of fans today. There used to be you're just a fan of the team. And then it evolved into being more player fans, like Kobe and Allen Iverson and LeBron brought that out, is really more player fans. Bulls fans were Bulls fans back in the day. They weren't Michael fans specifically. They were Bulls fans for the whole team. And that changed with the superstar era in the last 20 years. It's really made it player fans in some ways. That's not good for certain things. And then like the betting fans are in other even worse level of toxic fans that just get into it because they have betting interests. Yeah. That's why stay true to your team. Stay like us and be a Raptor freak. That's right. Those are the best kind of fans. Those are old school kind of fans. Those are real fans, the fans of the team. You can love players and be fans of players too. But if your favorite player is on your team and they leave and you go with them, that's not a real fan to me in some ways. You can be a fan of DeMar on San Antonio and Chicago still, but you're still a Raptors fan first, is what I'm saying. Yeah, let's go. Quick Takes is saying, I get up for dinner at the half washroom and maybe a smoke. Okay. You do that, like you get up for dinner at the half in the washroom and maybe a smoke. Listen, do what you want. I just don't like, I see the same person sometimes get up like 10 times in the game in front of me. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Unless you have a medical condition where you can't keep it in you and you need to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes, I don't know what to say to you. Maybe you need like a bag, a catheter, and just sit there and you can have a little bag and you'll be fine. I don't know. Some of these people need to just sit in the damn seat, is what I'm saying. I see so many people getting up during the game so often and so much. Like, what are you doing? The game is here. You should be watching the game. The game, the whistles are called, and there's people running up and down. Well, that's what you paid all the money to come to. Why don't you sit there and watch it? You don't need to go out and hang out at the pizza stand and walk around. I don't know what you're doing. What are y'all doing? Seriously, just watch the game, please. Nameless is saying, no, we don't want them pretending it's a movie. Then it becomes a Leafs game and you can hear a pin drop. Well, I don't mean like being quiet. I just mean sitting in your seat. Like when you go to the movies, you sit in your seat for like 2 hours and you can do that. It's like, why can't people just sit somewhere for 2 hours for a while? They can't do it. They're too like, oh, I got to get up. I'm restless. I don't get that. I don't get that. And I know a lot of the reason why the 100 level is so empty after the third quarter, when the third quarter starts, is because the 100 level people are in a bar underneath the sections and they're hobnobbing. They're like, oh, I got a martini. Oh, yeah, the Raptors look pretty good so far this season. And they don't understand the game starting up again. And like, oh, let me finish my drink. Oh, let me slam this. And then they run back out and sit in their chair. But it's like 5 minutes to go in the third quarter at that point. It's really is like the lounge area underneath, not in the concourses, not in the 200 level or the upstairs. It's the underneath the 100 level seats that these premium sits courtside people, they're under there like having a little hobnob, get together. Oh, hi, so good to see you. Society page. Oh, good to see you. Oh, why don't you fucking go sit down when the third quarter starts? You hear that dramatic music going, dun, 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 dun. They made that for y'all so that you could get the game's about to start. I need to race to my seat. Dun, 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 dun. That's what that's for. Now, I know the NBA streamlined the time of the game to be 2 hours by cutting part of the halftime away. It used to be a 20-minute halftime, and now it's more like a 10-minute halftime. And I don't mind that. And I'm sure the players don't mind that either. Then maybe halftime was too long before, and that's why there were 3-hour NBA games. Well, now we have 2-hour NBA games, and it's a 10-minute halftime. So use your time wisely. And if you're all going to go like lemmings all at the same time, expect to be held up like that. This new self-checkout, the AI checkout, no concessions worker there. You run in and grab your beer and just scan it and run out. Okay, if that expedites and makes people come in and out quicker, that's great. I personally won't use that stuff because I believe in paying people to have jobs and do them, and Xing out jobs is fucked up. And I told the concession worker when I went to the game last Friday night, I'm going to keep coming to y'all and I will avoid this AI like self-serve bullshit they're doing for concessions at the Scotiabank Arena now. So there's a lot to this all. All right, I went off on a little tangent there. All right, let's keep going. Smooth saying, that's why I get seats in the upper row beside the steps and get easy access just in case. I don't want to disrupt the others. Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever. You guys have to get up all of a sudden. That's great. But there's certain people I see. You can tell, like somebody who's just like, why are you here? You're not even watching the game. Oh, I'm just here to be seen, or I'm just here to like pretty, or I'm just here to eat pizza and drink beers. You're not here to watch the game. You should be here to watch the game and cheer for your team. That's right. MSJ saying, win or lose, bad team or the best. I don't get the fair weather nature of some fans. You like basketball or only when the Raptors win. Some people are like traumatized by losing. I feel like if they feel like they're a loser, if they root for a team that loses and they just don't want the stink of losing around them. So they're like, no, I'm not a Raptors fan right now. Or you're a Raptors fan this year because they're in the playoffs? Yeah, I am. But I wasn't last year because they stunk. I don't get that. I don't get that. In some ways, you seem like a very like not dutiful person to the team when you're like so on and off, depending on whether they're winning or losing. Yeah, a Toronto sports fan is like this. They treat the Blue Jays like this very much. There's a lot of people that are half-assed about the Blue Jays, and they only get involved with the Blue Jays when they know they're winning for sure. And otherwise, they stay away from them. They don't support them. They don't go to the games otherwise. Fair weather fans. They suck. They suck. Nameless is saying we have no home ice advantage because people watch the game like it's a play or a movie. That's not true. Nameless, that used to be true back in the day, but that's not true. We changed that. I was a big part in changing that. So was Samuel L. Jackson. We helped teach the Raptors crowd how to get loud, and it is one of the best crowds in the league at this point. In fact, we're going to put the finishing touches on making it the absolute best crowd in all of professional sports in the next few years. This is one of my biggest plans and goals is to help train the Raptors crowd to chant defense every single time the opposing team has the ball in our building. Every single time. As soon as they touch the ball, defense chants need to be raining from the whole crowd. And that will be a signature thing. And people will be like, holy shit, the Raptors fans are really diehard. They will be so into us. And people like really respect that. And opposing teams will be like, yeah, we're coming in. We know what they're going to do. The fans are a problem, just like the team is. I would love that kind of a reputation. You know, the dinner theater of the early 2000s and the late 90s of the Raptors crowd is over. There's no more sitting on your hands and being polite Canadians. We are a good rabid fan base, and we bring the noise. We bring the noise. That's right. Kareem Thomas is saying, quick takes. I don't even get up. I just put on an adult diaper and lay in on the couch. I'm truly invested in Soiled. See, he's not even going to the game and he doesn't get up. He's just at home and he wears a diaper for the whole game and he just sits there. You know, I know you're doing this, Kareem, because you want to dunk. And you know what? You're going to get one because that's pretty good. Anybody who's willing to wear a diaper because they love the Raptors so much, I got to give that a dunk. I'm sorry. Name is saying that's what happens when you have a bunch of lawyers and doctors watching sports. Well, in some ways, it's like, what are your career path, Brent Barnecki and Sayesh Mehta? You guys could be making more money, maybe. I don't know how much refs make. Do the refs make more than a doctor? Do the refs make more than a lawyer? I mean, this is weird. Are these guys just failures at those jobs? Like, is Sayesh Mehta's father like, I'm so disappointed in you. You're not a surgeon like me. You are a ref. What the hell happened to you? Is this what's going on in the Mehta family? It's like, you are a disappointment. I disown you, NBA ref. Son, I wonder about that. I'm like, because, you know, he went the path of middle school, and now all of a sudden he's running up and down on NBA courts and stuff like that. It's weird. It's weird. I wonder about this. Raps Love saying, unless you're a super hot girl, you can get up and down as much as you want. Feel free to come sit in my section and bug me during the game, but you better be a dime. Okay, Raps Loves is like, is the scenery is increased better with you getting up and down? Okay, we have no problem with it. Yeah, in some ways, I have my limit with that too. You know, in some ways, it's like, I don't want you distracting me from the game. Come on, I'm trying to watch the game. And okay, this is great. But also at the same time, I'm here to see the balls on the court, not the, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right, let's see. Raptors saying the LA Lakers are like the Maple Leafs of the NBA. Every media station talks about them constantly. So they get scrutinized daily on Fox and ESPN plus their own media. You know, I'm going to tell you something right now. The Leafs are not like that, the Lakers in that way. They really aren't. The Leafs aren't talked about in the States at all. They get talked about that up here in Canada, but nobody gives a fuck about the Leafs down there like they do up here. Nobody talks about the Leafs on TV down south. Nobody. The Lakers get talked about all over, and that's just how it is. So it's not a totally correct analogy. You could put it to the Toronto market, sure. The Leafs are like that, but it's really just here. In some ways, you know, the Leafs get put on blast across the U.S., Canada, and that's annoying. Sure, that's true too. But they don't have a reach in the States. Nobody covers the Leafs in the States. Trust me. Nobody. Let's see. Yeah, the Lakers are annoying. They're way over promoted, just like the Celtics, just like the Yankees. You know, there's a lot of teams in sports that are kind of like that. They're just way over promoted. And I agree about that. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. It went ahead, so I want to make sure that I don't miss where I was so I don't miss any comments. I was just talking to hang on. I'm gonna find my spot. I totally missed it. I see David's here, and I don't want to miss David. Um, wow, there's quite a lot here. Y'all give me a cutoff today because I got to do work before the game today, and I want to make sure that I get it done. Okay, that was that Lakers comment. All right, Shaq Lindsay's here. We're watching Raptors. They can become a top team in the East if Scotty, Precious, OG, Jakob, Dennis, and Pascal can live up to their potential on the defensive end. They're not even talking about the offensive end because winning comes from defense. And they stay together, they buy into the system, they perfect it more and more as the season goes on. We're going to get better on defense. We're going to get better on offense. In some ways, our offense didn't totally work in the first game, but it did work better than a lot of games last year. That's interesting to me. Like Jack Armstrong said in Raptors Tonight after the game, they still are supposed to be shaky and messed up on offense right now. Well, look, we had more connectivity and more assists in our first game of the season. That's only going to get better. The chemistry will get better. The connectivity will get better. And we're going to do way better on our offense. If this is the rough first start, I'll take it. It led to a W. So, yeah, we're going to improve on defense for sure. But our offense, the other end of the court, the more we connect and have good stuff happening, that could be a key to why we become a top team in the East. Quick Takes is saying, heard Thaddeus reached out to his connects in Chicago, bringing his sons in tonight. That's cool. You know, Thaddeus Young Jr. is getting a lot of shine right now. He's playing in an older age bracket of competition, and he's killing it. A lot of scouts are waking up to Thad Jr. right now, and he's going to have a path to some sort of professional career. Watch. We're going to be talking about Thaddeus Young Jr. in, I don't know, about 10 years. He may be around the NBA by then. Rapslev saying those roofs are corrupted last night. Oh, those refs are corrupted last night. Philadelphia got screwed. Well, I don't care. They hate Nick Nurse, obviously. Go ahead, Philly. You get the refs against you now because they hate Nick Nurse. The refs love Darko. I want to see if there's a difference. Tonight, we don't have a favorable ref crew. Let's see if they cause problems, and let's see how Darko handles it. Let's see if he has a better courtside manner with the refs, and he gets more with sugar than salt from Nick Nurse. That's right. Yeah, there you go. Shaq saying most teams have one or two lockdown defenders on their team. We have like 5 or maybe 10. This isn't actually inaccurate. I wouldn't say this is inaccurate at all. I think this is true. We have a luxury to our team. Darko has a lot of luxuries. He's laughing to a degree. He's literally laughing about the premium defensive players he has that he can utilize in schemes to try and stop other teams. He has a lot of confidence. When you have guys like OG, Scotty, and Precious to sick on other people in the NBA game, yeah, you can feel pretty confident with those kind of level of talent for defenders. Yeah, he is laughing about that. And it's true. We have way more than other teams. A lot of teams will have only like 1 or 2 supreme, really, really good defenders. In some ways, we have a bunch, and a whole lineup of them can be out there at any given time. Nameless is saying, Rapslev, that's the Nick Nurse effect. Where he goes, the refs are going to hate him. I really do think this is true. And we're going to pay attention to this year. Let's see how much we get screwed around with by the refs and whether Nick was a factor in it. It could very well be that this is exactly true. Rapslev saying, that is so true. The Toronto media just follows what the talking heads in America say about our team. I truly believe you after watching that game, and good. I haven't even seen Darko talk to a ref yet this year. It's so refreshing not to have crybabies. You know, in some ways, I want him to stand up for our guys, and he said he would. He just needs to be firm and fair. And if he doesn't belittle or just like be disrespectful to the refs, he may get a whole lot more out of them than, yelling and screaming and getting all red-faced. So this will be an interesting contrast between our coach now and our coach from last year to see the courtside manner. Once again, I may talk about this a lot. Since I have a focus on the referees, this is a very important area that I'm going to be looking at in great, great detail with a huge spotlight. So, yeah, our media up here in some ways wants to be like the American media. So they will mimic them. They will definitely mimic them. And once again, never underestimate an order from the top of corporate in Rogers to cover the Raptors in specific ways so that people are not totally buying into them or feeling like they're going in the right direction. They want uncertainty. They want people to maybe question whether they should be a fan of them. They want people to question our front office, obviously, and be aware of that. Be aware of that. If anything is coming from any Rogers media conglomerate source, it doesn't matter what channel or a paper or whatever, realize that that is a very much a PR bullshit, smear attempt, or whatever to sully our team, and maybe because Ted Rogers wants them to. So we need to always keep that in mind with the Canadian media. Half of it's owned by Ed Rogers, and he is not a fan of the Raptors, even though he is a part owner of it. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Nameless is saying Nick Nurse sacrificed his relationship and perception with the refs for our championship. Thanks, Nick. That's an interesting take, Nameless. I don't know if that's true. I think that he's just an asshole. Like in some ways, Nick has the public perception of who he is. You see him jamming with the Arkells. You see him smiley. You see him happy. But in some ways, he's a dick. Seriously. There's a lot of a perception around the league that he is not a nice person, that he can be very cut and dry asshole. Like, it's my way or the highway. I've heard a lot of things. He's not a very personable person in different ways. He's a good coach. He understands basketball. He knows X's and O's, but he really does not have the people skills that our new coach has. And this could be a huge part of this is right there. I don't think it has anything to do with sacrificing something to get our championship. I think it just has to do with his personality. Let's just put it that way. Quick Takes is saying, shout out Thaddeus' son for the get back. Yeah, I'm all about this. Go Thad Young Jr. Go Young Trent Brothers. Go Junior Schroeder. Yes, I want to see these guys come up. The next generation of Raptors. That's right. MSJ saying Steve Simmons. Yeah, that one bothered me. Said Masai hates the team, but in the low key, only Steve can tell. Way. The Raps are a fucking NBA team, dumbasses. I don't think Messiah hates this team. Why would he hate something he created himself? That's ridiculous. Steve Simmons, you're a dumbass. He loves this team. That is a lie right there. Like, how would Messiah hate these guys? He loves OG. He loves Siakam. He loves Scotty. He said it. I saw it on Open Gym. I love you, Scotty. I love you, Messiah. They said it at All-Star last year. So Steve Simmons, where are you getting your information? And once again, think about it this way. Is he trying to cause problems in the perception of the Raptors and whether they're being run correctly or happily? That's a lot of just bullshit. This is like New York media bullshit. Cause problems around the team, cause confusion. Steve Simmons, go fucking work for the New York Post. You fucking piece of shit. You're irrelevant is what it is. We should be saying that. Steve Simmons is irrelevant. The Raptors are a worldwide phenomenon, extremely popular. And when people write those kind of opinion columns, they're trying to hurt that. They're trying to hurt that. That's what they're doing. Shaq Lindsay saying, put Precious on Zach LaVine. Yeah, maybe Precious comes in at times and put him on there. Vucevic and Jakob, that just makes sense. And it's good that we'll have Jakob for this game. Jakob did not play in the preseason game against the Bulls. And Vucevic was a problem. Vucevic, the stretch five, doing really good with scoring and getting a double-double against us in the preseason. Well, let's see how good Vuce does with Jakob out there this time. And we may see Precious chasing Vucevic around too. We didn't have Precious for that game either. So this is two upgrades in the victory over Chicago already last week in preseason. We're getting our centers back. And we'll have Jakob and Precious to go up against them tonight. And we didn't have them in the last game. And Vooch hurt us. So hopefully we negate Nikola a little better because Jakob is healthy this time. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Infamous is saying the Raps franchise is worth the most in Canada. That's including the Leafs. Who peed in Simmons cornflakes? Why is he so bitter? Maybe that makes him upset exactly what we just said, Infamous. Maybe he's a hockey head. And he's like, I can't stand that the basketball team's worth more than the hockey team right now. How can we change this? Oh, I'm going to lower them with my opinion column and say they're irrelevant. Maybe that'll knock $1 billion off of them. And then all of a sudden the Leafs will be the most valued franchise in Canada again. Whatever. See, it could be like that. He could be a hockey head. And he's trying to hurt basketball. That's part of the problem with our Canadian media is they love hockey. And some of these guys, these kids, when they grew up and they want to be sports journalists, they didn't want to cover the NBA. They wanted to cover the hockey. They wanted to cover the hockey. So in some ways, these are hockey first people trying to hurt basketball's growth in Canada. And once again, that's another force in this whole thing. The reason why the Canadian media is the way it is. They poo-poo on Raptors and basketball because they're scared of it overtaking hockey in the country. And this is a huge reason why Steve Simmons wrote that article. Raps Love is saying, have you ever seen Steve Simmons? He's never played a sport in his life. And that's why the Toronto media sucks. They took hockey guys and transferred them over to cover the Raptors. This is exactly right. This is what I was saying. Most of the media covering the Raptors don't even watch them. They don't. Bob McCowan does not watch the Raptors. You know, when he used to do his radio show before he had his stroke, he obviously didn't watch the Raptors with his opinions and the things he was fucking saying on the radio every morning. And this is why Raptors fans and sports fans in Toronto are so informed, because of idiots like Bob McCowan on the radios talking out of their ass, and they don't know what the fuck is going on with the team. That's what I'm saying. This channel right here, we're on top of it. And maybe we're pie in the sky positive, glasses half full kind of people. But in some ways, you're going to get a more realistic take on them from me than them, because they're already discounting them for their own stupid reasons. And that's a big one right there. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying Precious is more athletic than OG. This is true. I think this is true. I'll agree with this. Precious has more ups than OG in some ways, obviously, with those dunks. And OG's weird. I think OG may on the down low be stronger than Precious, but that may not be forever. Precious could get stronger than him by the end of his career. But I think OG's stronger than Precious right now. But I will say that Precious has more ups. He definitely has more ups. Like, he can get up higher than him. That's for sure. Raps is saying, Raps Love saying, we have no right to know somebody else's medical situation is protected. Exactly. That's why we're on a need to know basis. And in some ways, this is like private stuff for Coloco. And we have no idea what it is, and we shouldn't know. He's a private citizen still, even though he's a public professional player. But there are rights to private citizens with their medical records that need to be respected. That's right. Raps Love saying, I really hope Coloco can find his way back to the court. That would lift this team into the stratosphere. Yeah, I want him back. He's a great prospect. He is the future for us at center, hopefully, still, and hopefully he can come back. MSJ saying at Infamous, it's super odd. I don't read the media, but the story came up for me in the algorithm, as they say. The real deal is the Raps are an exciting team. I have to say, I'm 100% on the new vibe. Yeah, that's why it's such a mischaracterization. The watchability ratings of ESPN about the Raptors are so wrong. Y'all think we're like one of the 5 worst teams to watch this year, and you're so wrong. We're not in y'all's market anyway down south. And if you can watch us on League Pass, do it. If we come to your market to play your team, watch us. Y'all will see the truth about us. We're high-flying circus, just like Monty Python. And we're coming in to do some high-flying circus stuff with Dennis Schroeder pushing the pace and Scotty and Precious and OG filling the lanes. You don't think that's exciting basketball to watch, NBA? What is wrong with y'all? Y'all have good gold and people like Nikola Jokic and the Raptors team, and y'all don't put your best product on blast? Seriously, Nikola is the best player in the league, and the Raptors are a fun team to watch. And in some ways, you're not doing good marketing because you're not really marketing to your strengths. The Raptors are a very watchable team, and more people are going to realize that quicker than later as the season goes on. They're going to see some Scotty highlights and be like, damn, I might need to start watching the Raptors more, because I'm like, holy shit, what did Scotty Barnes just do in that play right there? I got to watch them more. You're going to get more casual Raptors fans, more casual NBA fans watching the Raptors, because our highlights are going to look so good. They can't hide us. They can't hide us. The fast break that we got going this year is going to be so badass to watch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Top 4 defense. Quick take saying top 4 defense. I agree. I want to say we're going to have the best defense in the whole fucking league this year. How about that? I hope we have the best defensive stats out of all the teams in the NBA this year. And it's undeniable that the Raptors are the best defensive team in the NBA. That's their goal, and I think they can do it. G saying we need to campaign for OG to be the defensive player of the year. He's the blueprint for the team and for the players to follow. Yeah, we should be saying this. Let's say it, put it out there more in the ether, put it out there in existence, and maybe that'll come around and it will be the truth that will come to fruition. That's right. Raps Love saying the big crybaby from the Sixers was the first NBA player to cry his way to an MVP. That's just unnecessarily mean. So I'm going to give him a dunk, because that's just unnecessarily mean to poor Joel. So Raps Love is getting a dunk for being unnecessarily mean to the big dunk. Yeah. MSJ's getting dapped from Infamous. And David's saying, Nick Nurse and the Sixers looked so pathetic last night. First 6 minutes of the game and the last 6 minutes of the game for them was deja vu. Joel didn't get past half court on 4 possessions in a row. Thank you for reporting this. I actually didn't watch the game. I just saw highlights and clips and little things from that were important from it, like the Griffin thing with Anacumpto, and hearing about Joel, not what you're saying right here, that he wasn't getting up and down the court like Nick needed him to. He could yell at them, blitz, blitz, blitz. No, ain't going to make those legs work any faster on Joel. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can yell that stuff all you want. The man is tired. You're not going to get the effort out of him like you get a Chua. You're just not. Nick, just give up, man. You're not going to get this man to run around like you got the Raptors to run around last year. And this is going to be hilarious to see. Now, this is interesting. David's saying that the Sixers have like the problems the Raptors had last year. A horrible start to the game and then just not closing the game out very well either. Some coaches have calling cards. Let's just put it that way. Infamous is saying Joel looked checked out last night. The body language of the Sixers looks bad. They're going to have to blow it up soon. Yeah, y'all might as well trade Joel sooner than later. You can put this on for as long as you want. You're going to have to get rid of both Harden and Embiid very shortly. Until you guys get rid of that stuff, you're going to be just like the Brooklyn Nets and just bullshit hanging around your team. Joe Tsai was like, I got to get these guys out of here so we can start over and get things going. You guys got to do the same damn thing. Seriously. And the longer you put it off, the more you're just going to spin your wheels and put off what you inevitably have to do anyway. So there you go. Joel's not happy in Philly. He's going to go to New York as soon as he can. Raps Love saying Chris Boucher is the team's heart and soul and the spark plug. We will need him. I agree with this. And I think that Darko believes this too. He has a lot of respect and love for Chris. And in some ways, this is a very calculated holdout of him not playing. You know, it could very well be this is the only game that Chris sits out this whole season. There's all kinds of things that could happen from here. Chris could get in the rotation and play every single game after this. It's just, I wanted you to trust me, Chris. I'm going to sit you for one game. And then if you listen to me, if you react right, you do things right, I will reward you. And maybe you will never have to sit again for the whole season. Sometimes there's tests like this with players. And I feel like Darko did a lot of different kind of things. Maybe it is the matchup thing with the bigger bigs for the Timberwolves. Maybe it's also a thing like I want to see what Chris is about and see what he ticks. And whether he handles something like this well is part of it too. Let's see. Raps Love saying, I just said the exact same thing a comment ago. You're 100% right about the big crybaby. David saying, where is Mr. Bite Me today? How do you feel about your goofy, sad, little pathetic basketball team? Look at David calling out Philly fan who was here yesterday. I don't bite. It's fair, David. It's fair. I'll allow it. Raps Love saying, I think behind the scenes he's asked for a trade. Goofy, sad basketball team. Hilarious. No, he has. He has in some ways already intimated that he's going to be leaving. That came out this summer. David's saying, yeah, he's like you. We want me to run, and I demand a trade. Yeah, you want me to run? You actually want me to move around on the basketball court and play basketball? Sorry, Nick. I want to get out of here. I'm out of here. You're making me run cardio too much. Stargate saying this is the beginning of the end of the process. They're about to blow it up totally. Yeah, if it's signified by Joel's presence on the Sixers, yeah, the process was a huge fail. And it's going to end with the biggest part of the fail at the very end. Whether it's Fultz, Simmons, whatever the Sixers have done in the last 10 years, it's all been bullshit. Tanking to do what they just did to get what they got. Seriously, the Sixers are a very good example of why tanking doesn't work. Everybody in Raptors Nation, you want to talk about tanking strategies, just go look at what happened with the Sixers. And that's your cautionary tale to never, ever, ever want to tank. Seriously. There's your cautionary tale right there. Top saying, good morning, Raptors family. It's game day. Let's go, top. And hopefully the Raptors will be on the top over the Bulls after tonight's game. That's right. Raps Love saying, honestly, the big crybaby has put up with a lot from this team's front office last year. Ben Simmons this year, James Harden. They've watched how many years with him? Yeah. No, this is true. In some ways, the ineptitude of the Sixers around Joel and trying to build something around him has been horrible and has been part of the problem. And that's just the whole timing thing of it. You can have bad timing alongside a good player like that and squander his years. You know, Dame Lillard's a similar situation in Portland. They had this great player for so long and have so much time to build a contender around him. And they failed at it over and over again. They failed at it in Portland. And now he's in Milwaukee. Well, it's a similar thing with Joel. In some ways, they had not built the right team around him. The closest and best team they had was the one that got beat by the Raptors in their championship year. That team with Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick was the best Sixers team they've had in the last 10 years. That is. And they didn't keep it together. They picked Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. You dumbasses. You get what you get. That's right. You get what you get. That's right. Top saying the Dennis vlog is free recruitment for free agents coming to the Raptors. In some ways, it's really good for our fan nation. We're getting so many new fans of the Raptors because of Dennis Schroeder. We're getting fans from Germany, obviously. German people love Dennis right now. He's a national hero. He's the MVP of the world, and he brought it to their country. So the German fans come with him, and we have a huge contingency of new German fans just because Dennis Schroeder showed up. And welcome to if you're watching the Raptor Street channel and you're German and you just found us, we love you and thank you for coming to our fan nation. We're going to cheer for Dennis very hard, just like you guys do back in Germany. And I hope you'll buy some Raptors flag and represent our team in your country over there. Come across the sea and come to Canada, come to a game and see Dennis in our lovely city. Well, any of that. And the other place we're going to mind fans from is the Laker Nation, y'all. Seriously, Dennis is extremely popular in Laker Nation. And people there are coming into his vlogs and writing in the comments, he's like, I love you, Dennis, and I'm going to root for you on the Raptors, even though I wasn't for the Raptors before, because you're on this team now. I'm going to be more likely to root for the Raptors now. Some of the Lakers fans are saying, I'm glad you went to a team that I like. Some of the Lakers fans are saying, I'm going to root for you on the Raptors still because I love you, and you're one of my favorite players. So we're getting a higher contingency of crossover from Lakers Nation, also in Raptors Nation this season because of Dennis's presence. So yeah, good stuff there. Good stuff. Yeah, wraps up is saying if the big baby wants to be traded, could you see him in a Toronto Raptors uniform? Yes or no? No. Because Bobby and Messiah are smart. They understand he's a loser and he's never going to win a championship. He's a block to a championship. He just is. You cannot have your absolute best player be the ingredients that Joel Embiid is and expect to win a championship. I'm sorry. He's just not a hard enough worker. He just doesn't have the body to do it. And sometimes he's overpowering and dominant, but it also hurts him. There's a plus and a negative to Joel Embiid, and the negative side blocks him winning a championship. So no, he's not welcome on the side of the border. He's on my no-fly list, and he's not allowed to play for the Raptors, at least in the Raptors book. And I'm pretty sure Bobby and Messiah have no designs to try and land Joel Embiid on this side of the border. Seriously. That doesn't make any sense because they want to win. How about that? Nameless is saying if the refs don't perform fellatio on the Bucks, we're going to F them up. What? What is this, Nameless? Why are you bringing this up? That's weird. I don't like that image. That's gross. David's saying no, it would not be safe for him to enter the arena with a Raptors jersey on, honestly. Yeah, David's saying hell no. You don't want him coming here. No Joel Embiid on the Raptors. We're not involved in that whole thing. Just not let us be there. See, this is the thing. Joel Embiid is a dumpster fire wherever he goes. He's going to be a dumpster fire for the Knicks after this. If he goes to them or Miami, he'll be a dumpster fire for that team and block them from winning a championship there. He's a folly. Everybody thinks he's going to go somewhere. He's not. He's never going to go anywhere in his career. In fact, he's going to start going downhill soon in the next couple of years. He may have hit his peak in the year last year or this year. We'll have to see. And he'll start going downhill from injuries, probably. It could be Nick specifically causing injuries for him. We've already speculated that. MSJ saying on paper, the Sixers look dangerous, but it's the personalities that will implode the team, and I love it. The Raps, I feel the vibe that this team is a unit, and Scotty is that vibe, OG2. We invested in people, and people are really good to have right now. People like Darko, Dennis, and Garrett. These are people. Grady, a people. Scotty, people. And in some ways, the people that are on the Sixers are not people. They're not people. And any of those places I just talked about. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying there's a racist element on how the Raptors are covered in the Toronto media. There's a certain bias towards Raptors compared to Maple Leaf. Rogers needs to understand Canada is a multicultural country. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. And we'll get real here. Some people want to say, oh, you don't make this a race thing, but it is damn true. In some ways, Canada is a very racist country. I hate to say it because in some ways we have the most multicultural city in the world. Toronto. It is. It's surpassed New York City and London, UK, as the most percentage of immigrants living in it. Toronto is the most multicultural city in the world. We are not totally representative of the views and the way Canada is. There's a lot of rural white Canada areas that are still extremely racist and have really serious problems with people of color because they don't understand them. They were never around them enough. It's not that they're horrible people, and they could be very nice people, but they may have racist proclivities because of not being exposed to culture. And also that informs you part of the reason why the Canadian media treats things a certain way, because they have a bunch of old white people that are out in the country that they have to make the TV for. And in some ways, they don't want to be too provocative and scary. It's a very, very huge, difficult thing to come at and talk about in specifics in certain ways. But this is the truth. And in some ways, the media has always been racist, wherever it is. It's not totally just colorblind and looks at things in certain ways. I knew it from the inside. When I got hired by MLSE in 1999 and I went to work there, I worked with everybody in the arena that came from the Maple Leaf Gardens and only worked for the Maple Leafs. They had never worked for the Raptors until they came to the new building when they built the Air Canada Center. And a lot of the older ladies I worked with, even though they weren't intentionally being racist, they said racist shit about basketball all the time when I came in to work, and it pissed me off. It's like, I just don't get this sport. What are they doing out there? And some of it was borderline racial, some of their critiques about the NBA and having to work NBA games. So these are nice people. These are nice old ladies that worked for the Leafs when they won Stanley Cups in the 60s. Some of my favorite people that I used to work with, but they're older and they're Canadian and they're hockey people. And in some ways, they have blind spots that are racist. And it's not that they're awful people. It's just that they have blind spots and they don't totally understand how they may be being racist. And they just don't get it. It's just the truth. It's just the damn truth. I have family members that live out west that are not around multicultural situations. And in some ways, they have blind spots when it comes to race. It's not that they're horrible people. It's not that they're bad people. It's just that they don't get exposed to being around a lot of different people from all around the world like we do here in Toronto. So they have a little bit of like biases or stupid perceptions because they just haven't been, among people enough or cultured enough or exposed enough. They're too much in their small town, rural, white, Canadian small town out in the middle of nowhere. That's what it is. All right, let's see. All right, where am I right here? I'm here. Nameless is saying Pascal over Giannis. I said it. It's a new age Giannis. I saw your comment after last night. Nameless is watching the Bucks Sixers game, and he's writing comments on my stream. I don't care what anybody says. Giannis is not better than Siakam. I like this argument, and I'll take this. In some ways, I'll run with this, and I'll push this even further with you, Nameless. I agree. Siakam and Giannis both have rings. Who's going to get the second one? We'll have to see. Who gets the second one. That's right. It's a new age, Giannis. David's saying at MSJ on paper, maybe on TV, they look fucking pathetic like they are. David has a lot of venom. Nameless is saying that Pascal got half the calls Giannis did. You know what I'm talking about to be true. Yeah. If he got the line more, his scoring average would go up. Siakam's scoring average would go up if he actually got the calls he deserves. MSJ saying at Shaq Lindsay, unfortunately, yes. I was at a party and people asked me why I would even watch the NBA. They said it was an entertainment of people jumping up and down. And yes, they were Leaf fans. Laugh out loud. Nameless, sleep on that one, okay? That's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. In some ways, look, the Raptors are newer. They're new generation. They're younger. We have the future. In some ways, the Leafs don't. And it scares the hell out of them. And, if they're already kind of have racist proclivities, well, if they can be in their circles and not be around other people and just enjoy being racist with their other racist friends behind closed doors, they'll do it. If you're at that party and you're with those people, see, their perceptions are what feeds Steve Simmons to write that article because he's around Leaf Nation. They're like, man, basketball is such a better sport than hockey in so many different ways. Seriously. And people may come at me for that, but I don't care. I believe that. And that's my personal choice. And that's my preference. So as hockey people think that way, they can think that way too. But they're wrong about basketball. Basketball is a great entertainment. It's a lot of fun. And y'all are missing out, is what I'll say. Nameless is saying, wake me up when Giannis hits a free throw or three. Top saying Nick Nurse looked very stressed when he did that last second challenge. The analysts were criticizing for it. He sabotaged himself in the Raps job, and the grass isn't always greener. Yeah, you be careful what you want, Nick. You be careful what you want. You fucked up, man. You shouldn't have checked out on us, man. Raps Love saying what's really true is Milwaukee really has no perimeter defense. Teams with speed will beat them. This is good. That's the absence of Drew Holiday, and that they were wondering about how their defense would be worse on the outside, and it looked like it was already. Raps Love. That's good. This is part of how I'm going to say that Milwaukee may have a worse record this year. Cool Cat saying Griffin basically was told by Giannis, this is how things are done by overruling Griffin, taking him out of the game. Yep, not in Raptors land anymore where we follow the coach plan regardless. No, these guys are going to be like, wow, we had it really good in Toronto. The fans were awesome. The press was mild and stupid. And, our players were really bought in and listened to us, and they were good citizens. Y'all have all kinds of dumpster fires in weird ways over there. It's not exactly the same in Philadelphia and Milwaukee, is it? No, it isn't. Doctors. Yeah, it isn't doctors. Let's see. David's saying the grass in Philly is on fire. I really do believe the NBA made a concerted effort to get rid of our doctor coaches in some ways. Whether Daryl Morey tampering with Nick Nurse or, them all having to leave because we had 2 PhDs on our roster as coaches. In some ways, they didn't like that notoriety and prestige. The Raptors have 2 doctorates on their coaching staff. Well, let's fix that. Let's get them the hell out of there. In some ways, I wonder about that. The powers that be that pull strings around the NBA, is that part of the reason why we had to lose Griff and Nurse? Is because they're doctorates and you didn't like the prestige of the Toronto coaching staff having 2 doctorates on there? I don't fucking care about doctors. I'll take Darko any day. Darko any day. That's right. Rapslov saying, I think Nick Nurse is starting to see how well the Raptors organization runs and treated him. In Philly, that front office is in shambles every year. He may realize that he was the toxic last year and the problem, and that now he sees like kind of things that are happening up here are smooth and good with Darko. And it's like he's gone there and his toxic's gone with him. And Philadelphia's already got a bunch of toxic with James and Joel. So yeah, it fits. They're birds of a feather down there. That's right. Top saying, I've never had a bigger interest in Philly and Houston than I do this year. It's petty, but something rubbed me the wrong way with both of their exits. I'm not going to pay attention to Houston, but I'm definitely paying attention to Philly. In some ways, I don't care what happens with Fred. I wish him well once again, individually for himself, but I don't want the Rockets to do better than the Raptors. Some of the Rockets fans are saying, oh, we're going to do better than the Raptors this year. Y'all are fucking crazy. Y'all are crazy if you think you're going to do better than the Raptors this year, Rockets Nation. Y'all are crazy. Now, Philly, we're going to really closely watch them. They're an Atlantic Division rival and a very, very important grudge match for our team. And now that our ex-head coach is coaching them, yeah, we're going to be watching them very close. Milwaukee also. But Houston, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on down there. You guys can tell me what Fred did last night. I'll be like, great, good for him. I'm glad. Good job, Freddie. Nameless is saying they lie and list Giannis at 6'11" and Pascal at 6'8". Laugh out loud. Pascal is at least 6'10". Pascal is huge. This is true. Siakam's closer to 7 foot than 6'8", and they lie about all our guys' heights. They're all taller than they look. Like they're all taller than they say they are. Scotty is now 6'11", but they still list him at 6'8". It is literally them belittling him. They're literally belittling him by how they list him at his height. Y'all come talk to us. We measure them every year. And Scotty's growing. He came in the league at 6'8". Don't leave him there. He's grown since then. And Siakam probably grew earlier. He was 6'8" when he came in the league, but now he's 6'10", and y'all never adjusted his height. In what, fucking 8 years? You fucks? Oh, my gosh. David's saying, yes, you could see him questioning his life choices yesterday. Good. Nick Nurse is getting what he deserves. It is what it is. I feel bad for the guy, honestly. I told Nab, you're hurting your legacy, Nick Nurse. And Nab said, no, he's not hurting his legacy or anything. It's business. I'm like, well, why does this feel so personal, Nab Bhatia? If this is only business, why is he going to the Sixers? That seems personal to me. That's a little personal, yeah. Infamous saying, great point. Lex, about fans. That's why the NFL will continue to be number one. Most people are fans of the team and not individual players. It's much harder to be an individual fan, individual player fan in the NFL because of the helmets and how many players are on the field. Now, Tom Brady is one of those kind of guys, though. I know there's a lot of women out there that are only Tom Brady fans, and they're not necessarily Patriot fans. They were Patriot fans while he was there, but they went with him to Tampa. So there is a little bit of player fandom in the NFL, but you're right. It's more like you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you're a Washington Commanders fan, you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and you're diehard for your team. And that's true, Infamous. This is so true. The NFL's got that better. The hockey is like that too, to an extent. It's pretty good. And baseball's pretty good for that. It really is the basketball that has marketed it more the superstar individual and caused this phenomenon more. And in some ways, it's part of what turns people off from the NBA, Adam Silver. So maybe you should be starting to market the teams again over the individual superstars, is what I'm saying right now. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, I have to agree with your mutual YouTuber show, Raptors versus Raptors, occurring more and more throughout the league. Everyone wants our players, coaches, staff salivating on the sidelines, but denigrating us. This gaslighting. Like, we have people leave here and they go and they have huge things happen for them in other places. People covet our people. They want our people. They know Toronto makes good quality people. And then they act like we're not relevant or we're not important. Yeah, that's gaslighting. That's an abusive relationship. And it's fucked up. MSJ saying, Nameless, I will defer with Lillard taking shots. Maybe we shall see what you say come true. We'll have to see. Nameless is saying, Pascal's ceiling is higher than Giannis at this point. Pascal is still working. Giannis is retired. This is a really interesting point by Nameless. In some ways, the drive by Siakam to continue to get better and how much work he puts in the summer may overtake the laziness and the playfulness of a young father named Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's spending more of his off time with his family and maybe doing other things. And maybe he's not as hungry in the offseason and expanding and making his game better. I won't disagree with Nameless. The work is being put in by Siakam. You can see it all summer long. And in some ways, I know Giannis is working too, but at what intensity and at what level, and how much of his free time is actually spent with his brothers or his children or his wife and things like that. So, that's what I'm saying. Siakam doesn't have no family. He won't even see Pirtle when he's in Austria. He's so busy working. That's right. Wayne Strainer saying, watch some games last night. In my opinion, this season is going to be more competitive and entertaining. The so-called superstars, not ours, play in bursts. Yeah, I think this season is going to be very competitive and awesome. The in-season tournament is going to be a huge success. I'm already guaranteeing it. That people are going to really get into it, and it's going to cause all kinds of drama for the NBA in the fall. So there'll be more interest in the early half of the season for the NBA than ever because of this thing they're doing. They're really smart. This is a really smart thing they're doing, just like the play-in tournament. It's really smart. It's different, and traditionalists may be like, I hate this shit. It's not normal. It's not like the old NBA. But these are good innovations. The play-in tournaments have been a smashing success for all kinds of reasons. And I think this in-season tournament is going to be really good too. Now, if it completely fails and it's a one and done, we just see it this year and we don't see it next year, I don't think that's likely. I really don't think that's likely. I really don't. Nameless is saying, if Pascal was in an American market, you'd quickly see what I'm talking about. In some ways, he's not totally marketable because of, like Luka and Nikola, he's from another country. In some ways, they don't want to market foreign players, even though the foreign players are taking over the league right now. They still want people like Jason Tatum. They want American guys that they can push. So I don't think that's true. Now, a good example is Fred. Fred is down in Houston now, and he is getting put on more things in general as a Houston Rocket. I see him in more NBA ads now. And that's good, but he's an American. So he probably would get put on more blast than Siakam would. I think they'd ignore Siakam even if he was in the States. And some of it is racist because he's from Africa. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Infamous is saying, Lex is bladder shaming. Just kidding. Listen, man, do whatever you want. I have to go to the bathroom all the time too, but I'm holding it. Come on, let's do this. No, I have a catheter too. And I'm just peeing as I do this. That's the only way I can do a 4-hour stream, y'all. I pee all the time. In fact, I'm peeing right now. Ooh, that feels good. Yeah. All right. David's saying, looks around for Philly fans in the chat. Where are you guys? Yeah, where are these Philly fans? They said they want to come talk to us. Well, come talk to us tomorrow. Come talk to us on Sunday when we're reveling and reacting to a good win over the Sixers. Yeah, come see us on Sunday. Hello. Where are you Philly fans? fans. Top saying Embiid is not a winner in my mind. His mentality and body language doesn't instill confidence when I watch him. The fact that he decided to join Team USA speaks to that. Yeah, he's a loser. He's a loser. He's a horrible leader for a team. He's a horrible role model. He's not the kind of boss. Like if you're working at a Subway or a McDonald's, if he's your crew chief leader, he's not getting in there and doing the dirty jobs like cleaning the French fry machine. He's not in there doing the hard stuff. He'll tell you to do it, but he will never do it himself. No, he's one of those kind of leaders. We like leaders that'll get in there and do it. I won't ask you to do anything I won't do myself. Well, Joel's not that kind of leader. Let's just put it that way. Raps Love saying they're hiding. Name is saying Pascal has way more ways to burn you than Giannis. Giannis can only bowl towards the lane, foul somebody, then get sent to the line somehow. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to diss Giannis too much, but we'll see. Carlos saying 100%, Lex. Losing is part of life. That's right. You just got to, there's two sides of the coin. And if you can get that percentage to be like 80% winning, that's great, but there's still 20% of losing in there, isn't there? Yeah. David's saying Joel always has this little look on his face, like a child who has been coloring on the walls. He's a victim. You can see it on his face. Loser. Why did you color on the hallways in the Scotiabank Arena after we kicked your ass with a last forward bounce shot by Kawhi Leonard? Joel, you did this? You colored on the hall in the SBA? What? Get out of here. You bad kid. Run through the hall. Yeah, you shouldn't have colored on our wall. Shaq Lindsay saying, we should make a move for Malcolm Brogdon. My heart goes out to him. Boston did him dirty. He should have listened to Isaiah, but he chose Boston over us. Save Brogdon, trade vets. Fuck him. He chose Boston over us. He had the option instead of going to Boston to come to Toronto. Indiana asked him, and he said, I'd rather go to Boston. They have a better chance to win. No, we don't want him here, Shaq Lindsay. He made his choice. He's in his bed. The Celtics stabbed him in the back. He gets what he gets. But he made that choice himself, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was last summer. He made that choice. They straight up said it. And this was part of the perception war to downgrade Toronto in the eyes of people. They made it very public that there were two choices he had, Boston or Toronto. And they made it very clear. He chose Boston over Toronto. And they wanted to sully us. Well, look, that's what you get, Malcolm. You go and pick Boston. They stab you in the back and you're gone. You're gone. So, no, we ain't bailing out Malcolm Brogdon. Fuck him. He could go rot in Portland as far as I'm concerned. Carlos saying, we get Brogdon. Who will be starting, Brogdon or Schroeder? Schroeder all day. Brogdon's a backup point guard. And honestly, he's not as good as y'all think. I think he sucks, honestly. He does not scare me. Every time we played him in the history of playing him, I'm just like, yeah, this guy's boring. And like, I've never been into him like y'all have. I don't understand this. He's overrated. And in some ways, he's kind of punk ass. He made his decision. He's not welcome here at this point, as far as I'm concerned. You had the choice. You could have came to Toronto or to Boston. And it's not even that we wanted him. In some ways, I never wanted him. Like last year, when people say, oh, he chose Boston over Toronto. Well, did we ever really want him? When did we want him? I never wanted him. Y'all can act like y'all wanted him, but I never wanted him. And I don't know if Bobby and Masai actually wanted him either. So, no, Schroeder's a way better choice for us, a better fit. And he's exactly who we need. I don't stop looking for other players that we need to get on this team. We got our team right now. Let's go forward and learn with it. And stop looking for other people to come and help us. We don't need anybody else to come help us. MSJ saying quicker returns to the seats. Two things: more actual people selling beer in the stands, and full in the bathroom. What? Full tops? I don't even know what that fucking word is. I don't know how that works for ladies. You got it harder than I don't even know. What you're talking about? Listen, y'all need to spread it out. I don't ever go at halftime. Halftime is a waste of time. Y'all go at fucking halftime. That's not the time to go. Go with 2 minutes left before the half ends. Go with 3 minutes left before the half ends. You know what? You'll go and you'll get it done so quick. You'll be back in your seat before everybody leaves for going for halftime. I'm just saying, you can eat up the last couple minutes of the half and just go do it then. Going off times. It's like rush hour. These idiots. I wish that we could be smarter in society and make the work schedule different. Stagger people for when they go to work, and then you don't have rush hour gridlock. Why does everybody have to work 9 to 5? Work some people from noon to 8. Work some people from 3 to midnight. I don't know. There should be shifts. And then everybody doesn't have to hit the fucking road all at once and be in gridlock for fucking 2 hours to go to work. Hello, planners and people, is stupid. You can have different jobs go at different times and stagger it all out. And traffic issues would be easier if people would just fucking get this idea in their head, this kind of idea. Oh, it just has to be everybody goes 9 to 5. Well, think about all the gas you burn and time wasted by people like that. You want to be more efficient? Let's stagger how people go to work at different times instead of having everybody go to work all at once and sit out in a parking lot on the 401 or the DVP every single fucking day. Well, that's what I'm saying. Stagger when you're going to go to the bathroom. Stagger when you're going to go and get your treats and beers or whatever. They have a lot of people in the stands with beers. That is not the issue, MSJ. The issue is when y'all choose to go do it. And when y'all all choose to go do it all together, well, that causes gridlock. That causes traffic jams. And I wish y'all would get smart. I do it the way I do it. If I have to go to the bathroom, I'm not going during halftime because I know there's going to be a line and I'll be waiting 15 minutes in there. And there's no reason to do that. I will go before, or I will wait and go after everybody's gone at the beginning of the third or something like that. I'm just saying there's ways to get around this. And if we just used our brains and had better systems for things, we could do it. Let's see. Mischief is here. Let me see what Mischief is saying. Where? I got to make sure I get all these comments in, guys. Wow, there's a lot here. I'm gonna make sure I'll read every single one of these guys. I see we got somebody new in here I've never seen before. I'll definitely get to their comments and we'll see what they have to say. All right, let's see. Mischief saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I noticed the Raptors are not overexerted themselves to win games. This is going to be the new philosophy. No way we're doing what Nick did to the Sixers last night, overexerting Joel, making him play almost 40 minutes last night. No, we're not doing that. These guys are going to get around 35 minutes each, and they're not going to be close to 40. Scotty can get away with playing 37 minutes in the first game because he's a youngster, and he's got boundless energy. But, we want to keep Siakam in good shape for the whole season. In some ways, not playing your guys so much and overusing them is protecting them from injury risk. So there's a lot of good things about this. I really like Darko's philosophies. They make sense. They're smart. And in some ways, Nick was not being smart last year with how he ran our guys down. Quick Takes is saying at Kareem. He's laughing at Kareem. Name was saying, in my opinion, Giannis is a one-trick pony. I mean, I see what you're saying. In some ways, he's not a jump shooter. And in some ways, he's just a really good all-around stat stuffer is what he is. And in some ways, his offensive game is limited. You're right. He gets bailed out by the refs and the free throw line a lot. You're exactly right. Wayne's saying Chicago teammates had a players-only meeting already. So let's anticipate a highly motivated Chicago team. Should be nice. All of our opponents have extra incentive to beat us badly. I don't know if they have any extra incentive against us specifically. I think the NBA is just a very competitive league, and all the teams want to win every night. And you're right. We need to be aware of this, Wayne, that the Chicago Bulls are a little bit like a wounded animal right now. They're a little bit upset with each other, and they have some things to prove and try and fix. And in some ways, they want to beat us really bad. We can kind of been seen as being equals around the NBA right now with where we are with our franchises. I want to show that we're not anywhere near where they are, and we're above them. So we need to kick their ass handily tonight. Yeah. Top of Top saying, when was the last time a guard as small as Maxey led a team to a chip? Isaiah Thomas? Because Embiid shrinks in the clutch. So Maxey has to carry, but he's gotten erased at the end of the games by Giannis. Small guard leading a team. Yeah, it is something like Isaiah Thomas. I'm trying to think of who would be another person like that. I mean, I guess you could say Steph Curry to a degree. In some ways, is kind of like this. I don't know. In some ways, I like your comment, Top of Top, but I think a small guard's more likely to lead a team to a championship over a slow, lumbering center. Fiercey's got the cutoff. I appreciate that. Max Callie's here. Good to see Max Callie. Every morning, 9:30 a.m., we're talking Raptors here. Nikola Vuce will be used a lot more tonight. Jakob has a lot of work tonight. Yeah. I don't know if they'll use him as much this time, though. In some ways, he had the green light because we had no centers available in the preseason. They may go more heavy on Zach and DeMar tonight. I could see that. Because I don't know. One thing is Vuce likes to be the stretch five, so he's going to be outside, and he may be drawing Jakob out. I could see the Raptors running a zone possibly and keeping Jakob at home underneath because they don't want him to come all the way out and have to guard Nikola on the three-point line. So it could very well be we see Scotty guarding Vucevic a bit. partly just because he likes to hang around the perimeter. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they handle Vucevic as a stretch five. I could see Scotty being on him just because of the mobility around the perimeter versus Jakob, because we might want Jakob to stay at home down underneath the basket and be that last protection near the rim. So we'll have to see. Pearl fears no man. I like that, Nameless. Top saying, I have a problem with people in the cinema, concerts, and sporting events coming late and ruining the experience as I have to get up for them. Yeah, I don't like that either. These ushers don't like y'all coming in with, like, they wait for the whistle. That's why they wait. Y'all need to realize this. It's like, do people come into movies and concerts late? Well, if you're in the TTC and they make you late, I get it. But sometimes people show up so late for stuff. I'm like, why did you even come here? The movie's half over. Like, seriously, why are you here now? This movie's been on for an hour already. You missed the first half. Like, why did you even come? Like, seriously. Let's see. Top saying they also tend to be the same ones that come and go throughout the event. So annoying. Well, some fans do come just to be seen. Some corporate people are there to hobnob and do business deals with clients. There's all kinds of extraneous reasons why some people come to Raptors games, other than like what we are coming there for, to cheer our team loudly to see them win. Quick Take saying Nick is hard-headed and tunnel vision oriented. Same thing helped us win a chip. This is true. This is true. In some ways, his strengths are very good strengths for a coach, but they can be a weakness. Let's just put it that way. Smooth saying Rodgers needs to sell their stake in the Raptors to Bell. The management structure at the executive level is largely dysfunctional. Makes no sense that two competing entities own the Raptors. Yeah, in some ways, that's part of the conflict is Bell versus Rodgers. And that's why Larry is so important. Larry Tannenbaum, long live Larry Tannenbaum. We love you. Holy crap. Please never step away. In some ways, I really worry about the changes for the MLSE board after Larry Tannenbaum. And I don't want to even think about it too much. I just want this to keep happening. Larry, just stay here. Stay here forever, please. Because in some ways, I really do think it's dysfunctional, the relationship with Bell and Rodgers. And in some ways, they fight over every single game of the year. The way Rodgers does not allow a lot of our market to watch the game is messed up. I like what they're doing in Phoenix and Utah with their ownership, allowing the rabbit ears, the antennas to pick up the game so the entire state of Utah and Arizona can watch their market games. Here, meanwhile, we've got our cable companies owning our team and charging us premium cable packages to be able to see all of our Raptors games. It's fucked up. It's very fucked up. And people that don't get to see the Sportsnet games because of their cable package, that's messed up. And that is Rodgers' greediness, that trying to get as much money out of us as possible to let us watch the Raptors games. Fuck you, Rodgers. Seriously, I'm all about Bell owning us straight up. Or shit, let's go back to the teachers union, please. They would be so much better owner at this point. Wayne's saying, what kind of a hometown journalist goes against the home team? I just don't get it. Actually, I do. They're just closet racists out in the open, not hiding anymore. That could be it. It could be that there's racial things and stupidness, in some ways. I hate it. Some, average white Canadian people, if you don't live in one of the big cities, you may have racial tendencies that are not right, and you don't even realize it. Racism is institutionalized in our society, and the way things are perpetuated is through education, beliefs, and fucked up like perceptions. And this is the thing. If you don't have enough experience around multiculturalism or people that look different than you, you're closed-minded and you probably don't have a very good view of things. You need to go expand your horizons and get around these other people so that you can actually know the truth. Because there's a lot of stupid ideas about how people are by some people in this country. Let's just put it that way. And the journalists can be like this too. Top saying at Nameless, Pascal is good, but he's not better than Giannis. One thing Pascal could work on is gaining some pounds, particularly his upper body strength, so he can rip through contact better at the net. Siakam has battled this for so long, just like Boucher. These guys burn so many calories the way they play. Siakam is bulked up right now, but you're going to see over the course of the season, he's going to get skinnier and skinnier because of the amount of calories he burns and the way he plays. Trust me, if he could get bigger, he would. He's building a lot of muscle in the summer to be ready for the grind of the 82-game season because he's going to wear his muscle down. He's not going to be able to keep as much muscle because he's going to be expending so much energy. So in some ways, it's not realistic what you're saying. Trust me, he's putting as much muscle on his body as he can. and he is bigger than ever right now. And as the season wears on, he loses that muscle and that weight because it goes away because he works it off of him. So that's part of it. The beginning of the season, he comes in super strong, but over the course of the season, it's hard to maintain that. Let's just put it that way. And putting in a lot of strength workouts to continue to keep that muscle mass. So unfortunately, he's doing what he can. And you know what? I see what your point is, but I think he's doing as best as he can with what he's got with himself genetically. Let's just put it that way. Nameless is saying, what does Giannis do better than Pascal? Break it down for me. Pass? No. Shoot? No. Better defense? Not anymore. Enlighten me. He's saying he's a better clutch scorer and a better defender. Yeah, all right, I might give him the defender part. The clutch scorer thing is probably true too. I don't know. Either way, I'm not doing a Giannis versus Pascal thing. We've been doing Pascal versus Bam a lot in the last couple of years. Well, we upgraded. It's now Pascal versus Giannis. That's a good sign. I like that. I like that. Namus is disagreeing with you. I'm sorry. And Giannis is a lazy now. Watch closely. He's lazy. Top saying he's also a better rebounder and shot blocker. I'll give him shot blocking, but I don't know if he's a better rebounder than Siakam. That is debatable. I'll agree with that. Infamous is saying, can someone tell me what happened to Logical Raptors fanatic? I don't know. This summer, with the exits of Nick and Fred, it hit him hard. This were two of his favorite people around this team, Coach Nurse and Fred VanVleet, and it hit Mike hard, and he just needed a break. I think that he got overwhelmed and burnt out on doing his content on his channel too much. Maybe he just wanted to be away from Raptors kind of stuff in general. I know he was mourning Nick Nurse getting fired. It was really hard for him after that happened to be in this chat because a lot of us were bashing Nick and it hurt him. He didn't like that. So that's part of the reason why he's away. But he has been in contact with us and he said something about being back in November. So let's see if he's back next week. He could be back sooner than we think. We'll have to see. So yeah, I worry about him and I wish you all the best, Mike. You're my guy. I love you, bro. And we miss you on the channel. We want you back. Seriously. Top saying Pascal is lazy too on defense at times. He can be a real space cadet in defensive rotations, but hopefully that changes this year with less minutes. I think it will. I think that was the big reason why he was lazy on defense. It's not because he's a lazy defender. It's just there was no energy left over to put it on that side of the court. It was so much he was carrying us in certain ways offensively. The energy distribution to the defensive end wasn't exactly right. Well, that's part of the great thing about the new stuff with Darko is we should rediscover Siakam's exemplary defensive prowess because he is actually an extremely good defender. It's been an afterthought the last couple of years. Quick Takes is saying, blow it up real good, Philly. Blow it up real nice. Blow it up real good. Yeah. Name was saying Giannis's numbers are highly inflated by the officials. I won't disagree. It's the same for Jason Tatum. It's the same for Joel Embiid. Yes, they get inflated. Militant mindsets here. All right, let's see. Every morning, 9:30 a.m., we're talking Raptors here. I want to see what you got to say. Tanking worked for Cleveland in 2002, 2003. Yeah, but that's a different era. The Raptors, the NBA is in a new era where they're anti-tank, and they made rules specific to at this point that they don't want the teams to do this, and they will penalize them if they think that they're tanking at this point. So the tanking era is over. Whoever thinks that tanking is a solid thing for a team to do at this point, for a franchise to do, you're stupid. And you're not paying close enough attention to how Adam Silver is changing the rules to penalize tanking. And also, I'm going to tell you right now, you're showing me an example from like 20 years ago. It's not like this anymore. You can't just do this. And plus, as part of it is that the players that are coming up, unless you're Victor Wembanyama, are not going to save your franchise. A lot of these guys are playing just one season and they're young and they're idiots and they're not as good quality coming out of college as far as prepared for the NBA. So there's a lot of folly in tanking and they really are forbidding it. And that's a huge reason why teams are not supposed to tank anymore is because Adam Silver ain't having it. And if you do that, you're defying him and he will fuck you up. So that's what I'm saying right there. You can give me an example from 20 years ago, but that's a different era, a different time. I think Adam Silver was not in charge. It was David Stern still then. So militant mindset, tanking worked for them. And then tanking worked for the Spurs in 97, 98, and then last year. All right, I'm going to give you the examples of the Spurs because they didn't tank on purpose. First of all, when the Spurs lost that year in 98, David Robinson had a season-ending injury, and was not able to play for them the whole year. He's their franchise. He was their best player, and they were the worst team, one of the worst teams in the league. Then they got Tim Duncan with the first pick. Is purely because the Admirals sat out for a season. That's not tanking on purpose. That is our superstar franchise player was hurt for the year and we had a bad year. That was not intentional by the Spurs. You can think it was intentional, but it wasn't. And it was just very good dumb luck. And once again, they had really good dumb luck last year. Now, in some ways, yeah, they did intentionally position themselves to lose last year. But the thing you've got to understand what Popovich did last year was he tried to win still, even though he was not trying to win also. He instilled the right kind of attitudes in the young players like Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, and Zach Collins to continue to work hard and play hard. But the talent just did not add up to winning last year. That was very calculated. And trading Jakob Poeltl to us halfway near the end of the season was the last piece to really solidify tanking right up until the end of the season. So in some ways, they intentionally lost, sure, but they were still promoting the right way to play with the talent they had, and it just didn't add up to winning. So there's a difference. Intentionally losing is not exactly what they did last year. They shaved their roster and changed it, trading DeJounte Murray, trading Jakob Poeltl in a couple years leading up to it to possibly, hopefully land Victor Wembanyama. But there's no guarantees they would have got Victor, and they could have really gotten burned bad if Houston had gotten him instead. So listen, I mean, if you're trying to promote a tanking mindset, I can tell you every single reason why it's a loser mindset. It should be avoided at all costs. And people that promote wanting to tank for the Raptors, they're losers to me. Because people that want the team to lose on purpose to win, you don't understand basketball. And Philadelphia is a really good example of why you shouldn't do that. Spurs are a special case. They're very lucky in this case. And once again, I don't really look at what they did as tanking. There may have been a little bit of intentional losing by having a very poor roster. And but the thing with Robinson, that was not intentional. They wanted Robinson to play that year. Fiercey saying the icing on the cake would be us crushing the Sixers tomorrow. No, that's not just the icing. We need to win a lot this year. Well, that's not the end of it. We can't put the finishing touches like that. We need to win a lot. There's a lot of games. We just started, Fiercey. We're just getting started. Stargate saying Fultz, Okafor, Noel, Simmons, and B, the Sixers' process of tanking for draft picks. Yeah, you see what you get. How many of them are still around the team at this point? That's right. Raps Love saying, I can't believe they drafted Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. Well, hindsight's 2020. And yeah, that was a fuck up, wasn't it? David saying, this is ironic. Militant mindsets talking about tanking. Laugh out loud. Oh, man. At least change your name. Let's laugh out loud. That is hilarious. That is kind of ironic for sure, David. I can see that. Fiercely saying, is it me or is it staticky? I don't know. Is my stream a little staticky? It might be your internet. Tom saying it totally. My audio is distorted. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe there's something on the mic or something. I don't know. It's weird. I sound like a robot. Cool. Beep, boop, bop, boop, beep, beep, boop, bop, boop, beep. Maybe it got better. I'm broken? Oh, no. Bad audio. Oh, great. Let's see. Or not so nice. Sorry, audio not so nice. I don't like that. Well, I'll have to rewatch it and see how bad it is. Some ways I don't know what's going on. Is my internet okay? It looks all right. Top saying the biggest difference between Giannis and Pascal is Giannis craves those end of game moments. He wants the smoke. Pascal doesn't necessarily crave it. He's okay being a secondary guy. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's totally true. I don't know. That's kind of speculative. I think Siakam wants the big moment at the end too. It's just he goes about it in a different way. I don't know. Stargate saying, okay, it's better now. That's good. Tom saying, wow, sound is fixed. Phew, that was annoying. I apologize for that. I have no idea what was going on at that time. Fiercely saying, I don't bite. Send us a curse. Oh, don't say that word. We do not use that C word. When I see that word, I don't like it. There's a guy on Twitter named Yaz or something, or Kuz or something. He's like the YouTube Raptor Spaces guy. And he's trying to say that we broke our opening day curse by winning against Minnesota the other day. I'm like, what curse is that? And first of all, why do you use that word? That word should not be used around Raptors Nation. We don't believe in that C word. We do not. There was no Casey curse. There was Casey's revenge. And it's over. He's in the front office now. I hate that word in sports. That's what gets you into places like the Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox and other teams, the Leafs. We don't have that word in our vocabulary, Fiercey, so get rid of it. And anybody who thinks we had an opening day curse, you're an idiot. We won 8 of our last 10 opening day games. Is that a curse of winning? Okay, that's a good thing. So I had to set that guy straight on Spaces on Twitter. He's a good dude, and I like that he's making a community for Raptors fans on Twitter. But he needs to get that word out of his vocabulary. So we don't use that word on this channel fiercely. So take it away. I don't deal with that word because that word is dangerous and it can get into a mindset of a fan nation and it can become bigger than it should be. Just ask the Chicago Cubs. Just ask the Boston Red Sox. And we ain't doing that with the Raptors nation. Our culture has nothing to do with that C word. So strike it from your vocabulary is what I'm saying right now. A militant mindset saying, did I lie, David? Yeah, you did kind of. You did kind of. And I don't get it. He's right. It's ironic that your name is militant mindset, which means that you're like, oh, I'm going to do this like the right way, like the military way, like no cutting corners with discipline, with this. And you want to cut corners by tanking? That's why we think it's ironic. That's why we think your name's kind of like weird for what you're promoting right now on this channel with us. Is that's doesn't add up. You have a militant mindset about losing. Does that make sense? Quick take saying I was breaking up a bit. Lex sounds good now. Okay, good. It's not. Yeah, it's ironic. David's exactly right. A militant mindset. Did tanking get the Spurs, Tim and Wemby? No, it did not. Tanking got them Wemby a little bit, but it's not even tanking. It's not the right word. They played to their potential. Tanking is losing on purpose like the Sixers did to try and get Joel. That is tanking, and it didn't work. Popovich ran a team competitive and tried to win and instilled winning beliefs in the Spurs still. That's why they're going to be better this year coming back with Wemby is because they didn't learn bad habits last year. They just lost because their ingredients to their stew didn't add up to winning. That can be a very calculated thing. You get rid of all your good players on your team that you can call that tanking, but that's their roster and they're not good enough to win. So do you understand what I'm trying to tell you right now? In some ways, the Sixers actually tried to lose games on purpose by throwing games in the middle of games. Popovich did not do that. Popovich made those guys go out every night, give a good effort, and they just didn't add up to winning. And that was calculated to a degree. But do you understand the difference in what I'm trying to describe right here? Because I don't think you do. Did the tanking get the Cavs LeBron? I don't know what the Cavs did. I don't give a fuck about what the Cavs did. Who cares? Who cares about that? I mean, I don't get this. Tanking does not work. And you're not allowed to do it anymore. Are you listening to me? Adam Silver has banned it. He's going to punish teams for trying to tank. If they're outwardly tanking, he's going to fucking find the hell out of them and punish them. So it's done. The era of idea of tanking being a reliable or some sort of like strategic thing to do with your franchise is over. Losers promote that. I don't understand. Your militant mindset is losing. You're a loser, militant mindset. That's what I'm going to say. Anybody who promotes tanking is a loser in my book. You live your life in a loser way, obviously, because you want to lose to win. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. Everybody bought in this idea, oh, if you're mid in the league, you're not good enough to compete, then you might as well just tank to try and get a draft pick to get better. That's over too. Because listen to me very clearly, militant mindset. The NBA has parity now. Adam Silver has gotten rid of the superstar league. He's gotten rid of big threes. He's gotten rid of having a tier of teams that are just above and beyond everybody else. That's not going to happen anymore. There's more parity. Everybody from the middle up can win the championship. Denver Nuggets proved that last year. So you can be in the middle and still win a championship in this NBA now. And I hope you realize that. You don't have to dip all the way down into the bottom of the standings and get some first round pick to save you to win and get your franchise right. In fact, that doesn't make any sense anyway because you're waiting for them to get better. No, if you're in the middle, you can build from the middle to get up to the top at this point. And loser mindset, it will always get losing. And you're a loser if you're promoting that here. I'm sorry. David's saying, yep. And how long were the dumpster fires after those players left? That's the issue, bud. Yeah. And more to the point, if you believe in tanking, you do not have a militant mindset. Get it? That's the funny thing. That's the ironic thing. David's exactly right. A militant mindset. If you're like in the military or you're just some person who thinks they're a militant to like fight against the power or something like that, you're not holding true to the way you should be. It's a cowardly thing to tank. Let's just put it that way. Mary Jane's here. Holy crap. I'm so happy Mary Jane's back. It's been so long. I missed you. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you think you Jane. Don't you play no tanking games. Yeah. I love Mary Jane. Yes. All right. Mary Jane's saying, I have never seen much of Schroeder before last game. He looks so good. His passing is elite. Yes, Mary Jane. Yes. Yes. Whatever you're smoking, I'm smoking it with you. Yes. Yes. All right, Stargate saying at Militant, you pointed out 3 years and 2 teams. How many teams and how many other years? Your point is moot. Once again, you're tanking for one person like Victor. There's a whole bunch of losers. Houston, Detroit. These teams, they wanted to lose and get Victor too. What did they get from it? Nothing but losing culture. And that's part of the problem too. You're going for one golden goose. Well, only one team gets them. So in some ways, that's not very smart either in that kind of way. Militant Mindset saying 5 chips in Tim's era is worth being trash after he left. Listen, the thing about the Spurs, you can't put the Spurs as a tanking team. If you want to one of my favorite teams, they're not a tanking team. They never were. They're a winning playoff excellence team. The one year that David wouldn't play or couldn't play was the year they got Tim. And that was just dumb luck. And it wasn't purposeful tanking. Were you watching back then? Seriously. Did you understand there was no such term as tanking at that point in 1998 when Tim Duncan was drafted into this league? So in some ways, like what you're making up is revisionist history. What happened then was David Robinson was hurt for the whole year in a legitimate injury. And it absolutely crushed their team because he was their franchise player, best player. And they were one of the worst teams, and they won the lottery. They weren't even the worst team that year. There were other teams that were worse than them, and they got the lottery ball luck. So that's another part of it. You can't just tank and it's guaranteed you're going to get the top pick. You have to have that lottery ball bounce your way also. And the Spurs are very lucky with that lottery ball. Let's just put it that way. They very much are. Number 1 pick, David Robinson. Number 1 pick, Tim Duncan. Number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama. So yeah, in some ways, I'm a huge Spurs fan, and you're fucking insulting the Spurs dynasty by saying they got it through tanking. You're a fucking idiot. They did not win their 5 championships because they tanked. You're a dumbass if you think that. Seriously, I'm going to fucking strike you out soon. I know you got a lot of comments in here, so I want to see how stupid you get. Carlos saying, that's so stupid. So you're praying to get a LeBron type of player every time you tank. There's only one player like that every 10, 15 years. LeBron, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama, sure. There's not one every year. It's so stupid. And Carlos right. Tim Duncan, they did not tank to get Tim Duncan. Is exactly right. Militant Mindset saying that's exactly why teams tank. If there's a generational talent in the draft, nobody's tanking anymore. And you want to be talking tank talk, you're a loser. And you don't belong with us because we don't talk tanking here. Tanking was never a viable option for us in the last couple years. Every fucking idiot around Raptors Nation saying, we need a tank for Wemby. You fucking dumbasses. You loser ass motherfuckers. You're not Raptors freaks. Stargate saying, it worked for 2 teams out of how many? And 3 seasons out of how many? Your point is moot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's not a sound strategy. Let's just put it that way. The percentages on this are really dumb. And franchises and GMs that have this mentality are stupid, like the franchise and mentality of the Sixers when they were doing it. David's saying, yeah, I'm just not interested in playing like losers in the hopes of a draft pick. I'd rather play basketball. That's all. Once again, Militant Mindset does not understand this league has parity now and that anybody can go get the NBA championship. It's not like it was when LeBron was in the East with Cleveland. It's not like that anymore, bro. This is a new league. It's evolved. And you got to keep up the speed with how it's going. And Adam Silver saying, no, tanking ain't allowed anymore. You want to go against the commissioner? You think that's the way to get a championship? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Let's see. Carlos saying you only get one generational type player every 10 years, if that. In some ways, there's not that. And saying Militant Mindset saying some of the smartest basketball minds in the NBA sphere have advised their teams to tank. No, they haven't. Maybe like 20 years ago. Once again, where are you working from? Are you working from a 2002 mindset, like with Cleveland and LeBron? Are you working with a 2023 right fucking now, the rules, staying up to date with all the changes of rules? Do you understand the new changes in the rules? Do you know the flopping technical that they're going to do this year? They've been giving it to players after the game, like watching it afterwards. They say, oh, you get a little foul, Dante DiVincenzo. because you did a little flop in the New York game. Yeah, we're giving you a fine after that. They change the rules all the fucking time. Do you not understand they've actively changed the rules and this summer with the CBA to make it anti-tanking? So if you're not keeping up to date with the newest and latest rules of the NBA, don't advise teams on how to run their teams. Don't do it because you don't know what the rules changed, Milton Bradley. That's right. You don't know how they changed the rules, Parker Brothers. So yeah, keep up to date with the latest rules of the Scrabble game, the latest words that are allowed. That's what I'm saying. You got to keep up to date, militant mindset, because it sounds like your mindset's stuck in 2022 or no, 2002 is what I meant. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Carlos saying, laugh out loud. Name one basketball mind. Oh my gosh, maybe even less than that every 10 years. There's probably a generational talent every 15 to 20 years. No, you're over evaluating people. Generational talent is LeBron. Generational talent is Shaq. Generational talent is Michael. Generational talent is Victor. It's not Kevin. It's not Steph. It's not this. It's not that. We're talking about the creme de la creme, top notch generational talents is what we're talking about. Carlos saying tanking is just plain lazy. That's right. And Quick Take saying, yeah, tell them about that hidden racism out here. That's right. It's institutionalized in our system. And the more we talk about it honestly and put it on light, the more we can change it and right it. Because systemic racism affects everybody still to this day. Some benefit and some get hurt by it. And that's just the damn truth. David saying tanking is a Philly mindset. That's all. Yeah, go be with Philly if you want to be like that. Yeah. I love that y'all get on him. Yeah, it's fine. Stargate saying, who are these smartest basketball minds you speak of? Yeah, who are these people? Who are these people? Give me one example of who advocates for tanking in this league. Seriously, who are these smart minds? Your buddy on Twitter that you talk to? In spaces, who are these smart minds? Some fucking jackass fan that has a fan account and does stupid shit? Who are these people? They're not basketball minds. Name was saying they don't send Pascal to the line ever and give him 2 fouls to start the game. That's right, they don't. Raps Love saying Giannis is running into people like it's football and not getting calls since you can't hit a free throw, bro. He's really good in the fast break and barreling over people. Yeah, and they give him the benefit of the doubt. He may be offensive fouling people, and it's a foul on them, and he's going the line. Carlos saying, name one smartest basketball mind that advocates tanking. Yeah, nobody at this point. And this guy's not cutting edge. He's not paying attention. He doesn't understand. The league is not endorsing this kind of fucking strategy in any kind of way. They hate that people did this. They know it ruined the product. They're like in these markets, people are like, why should I even watch? This team's losing on purpose. It just goes against everything that's important about sports. And I don't understand this guy. This is crazy. Name is saying the refs put a leash on a collar on Pascal from the jump. Don't say Greg Popovich advocates for tanking because he doesn't. He doesn't. He really doesn't. The Spurs, all right, I know the Spurs really well because I really love them. You got to understand. They went through a period of down years because they had all their old heads retire. Ginobili, Parker, Duncan. These guys are gone all of a sudden, and they're in a rebuild period that's natural after a cohort has retired and gone. And they're kind of just in a period of time of rebuild and come up. But that's not tanking. That's just a new era where they have to restart. And they're restarting right now. So it's not tanking. Honestly, it's a loaded word. And I would advise you to get rid of that idea for a strategy. Seriously. Because there's no future for it in this new NBA. There really isn't. Cool Cat saying, I would say Precious is our best athlete on the team. The fastest runner, Twitch athlete is Pascal. And the strongest is OG. Scotty is building to become the strongest. In some ways, I'm going to say Scott's the best athlete on our team all around. Precious is close. They're very, very close. But I think this Scotty is the most talented athlete on our team. He really, really is. I love what Jakob said yesterday in his interview. Scotty's so good on defense. He can fuck up and have a mistake, and he'll make up for it and come back and still be a factor in the play. He called him a wild factor on our defense. And that's true. We saw it in the first year of Scott. He can make mistakes, rookie mistakes, and all of a sudden he covers up for them because he makes an amazing overcorrect play, and it's badass. And that is something about his talent. He's so quick to things that if he does get played off, he may come and catch up with you still and come get you still. And I love that about him. So I don't know. I'll say Siakam's pretty quick. And in some ways, he has the best endurance on this team. That's for sure. OG may be the strongest, though. You're right. He may be the strongest. Raps Love saying Siakam has a nasty mid-range shot, 35 from 3, fish, and has a nasty spin move and a Euro. Siakam is definitely more skilled. The freak is more power. Yeah, I'll get behind that. In some ways, it's interesting you guys want to do a Siakam versus Antetokounmpo thing today. Carlos saying, give me a quote where Coach Pop advocated for tanking. Haha. Yeah, exactly. I've never heard that from him before. He tried to make those teams play hard. If his team wasn't good enough to win, well, he gave it a shot. Rapslev saying, Siakam and OG never get the calls. That's true. Wayne saying, I love my Raptors freaks. Can't wait for the time we just hang together as like-minded who don't care and fuck what society dictates. I love that, Wayne. If we could have our own little isolated world, that'd be great. But no, the real world is out there, and there are real world things we got to deal with. Militant saying Danny Ainge was tanking last year after the great start. No, they didn't. The Jazz played pretty solid for most of the year. It's just that, man, they miscalculated. I guess they did too good in their trade with Minnesota and everything that they got from Cleveland and Minnesota and those deals from Mitchell and Gobert. They were too good. And maybe they did miscalculate as far as they got too much good stuff and they played too well. Listen, in some ways, the Utah Jazz is probably pretty happy with what happened with their year last year. They discovered that they have a really good young rookie and they have some really good pieces to build off of with Markkanen and different people. So once again, this is a bad example. If the Utah Jazz were really trying to tank, they wouldn't have been like between it. I called it last year. Like, if you're really going to try and do this, don't get caught in the subway doors with one foot on the platform and one foot on the train. Either get all the way the fuck on that train and try and lose, or try and win by staying on the platform. Don't be half-assed. You get caught in the door. And Utah got caught in the door last year. It's basically what happened. They got caught in the door. Let's see. And if they were trying to tank, well, tell the coach, the new coach, Will Hardy. Oh, no, we're trying to tank. Why are you trying to win? I'm a rookie coach. I'm trying to win. I'm a competitor. Oh, well, wait, we want to get Wemby. No, Utah's too good. Sorry, you can't tank for Wemby. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Let's see. My militant mindset saying the evidence is on the floor, but I can easily lead you to articles talking about all the teams that have tanked and how it led to franchise players. Man, you're so full of shit. I'm giving you a strike for being full of shit on that. What articles? Give me an annotated bibliography. I want you to fucking do it like the style they make you do it in university. You got to do it MAU rules, and it has to be spaced right. And I want it by 5 o'clock this afternoon. Give me that annotated bibliography of these articles you're fucking talking about. You're so full of shit. Carlos saying, give me specific articles. That's right. We want the annotated bibliography, just like they make you do in college. We want it all in the right. Like, if you don't have the spacing right, I'm marking you down. Yeah, you have to do it exactly the right rules to how you do it. If you don't do it, what was it called? What is it called? It's like annotated. It's like MAU rules or some shit like that. I don't know. Rapslev saying, you're entitled to your position and feelings about sports, but hockey, when they take a pop to the face and come back the same game, it's impressive. I like that, Rapslev. I like that. You don't like tanking, that's cool, but to act like it doesn't work is just disingenuous. Well, it doesn't. It's not disingenuous. It works like very small percentage of the time. It's not a sound strategy. Are you listening to us? It doesn't work very much or very often. You make isolated cases of like 1 or 2 times it's worked ever. It doesn't work all the time. It works barely ever. And that's why losers do it. And it's a stupid idea. And it's being outlawed right now. Are you not listening to us? Seriously. I know that I'm behind. I'm catching up on this. But yeah, contenders don't tank. Good teams don't tank. Real teams don't tank. Even teams like we're a good team. We've never been bad enough, so bad that we needed to tank. That was all bullshit perception by idiots talking us down. We've always been good enough that we do not need to tank. Some of you say, oh, we're so mid, we might as well tank. Fuck that bullshit. We need to continue to win. Honestly, if this doesn't get dropped very soon, I'm going to kick you out of this channel, seriously. Because there's no reason to push up a fight for tanking. You're a tanking advocate? Are you like a fan of tanking? Like, I have a shirt about tanking. I love tanking. I'm not a fan of any team. I just love the idea of losers. I love losers. I mean, I don't understand you, bro. You're not a militant mindset. You're a loser mindset. That's what you are. That's right. Tom Ducasaurus, give us a chat cut, please. Yeah, I don't want to waste my time with this idiot argument about tanking. It's so dumb. I'm going to start skipping his comments because they're stupid. They're stupid. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. We have a militant mindset here in Toronto. We do not tank. That's right. That's our militant mindset. And he's saying, I live in Toronto, bro. I don't care about Toronto tanking. My point is some of the greatest teams in history have done it. No, they haven't. The worst teams in the world have done it. Philadelphia. No, they've done it. You're a liar, man. Honestly, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to kick you out. I'm not even going to give you 3 strikes. I'm just going to kick you out. I'm going to gloss over the rest of your comments, and I'm going to kick you out. We don't have time for loser mentality, and you have a loser's mentality. Carlos saying, tanking barely works. I only witnessed 3 generational talents on my life, Steph, LBJ, and Wemby. So if you bet on getting players like those to save your team, it's just plain stupid. Exactly. Raps Love saying, Saturday, we really need to put a beat down on Nick Nurse. Yes. That is what we should be talking about instead of loser talk. Carlos saying, once again, the Spurs didn't tank to get Duncan. That's the damn truth. I don't need to research it. I was there. I was watching basketball at that time, and I watched it. David Robinson was legitimately hurt, and that is why they got Tim Duncan. It's just that. It's that easy. You're so stupid, man. Honestly, I can't believe how dumb militant mindset is. Seriously, you are a dumb guy, man. You came in the wrong chat today, bro. Let's see. Yeah, Carlo was watching too, and they were trying to win. They sucked without Robinson. That's exactly right. Raps, how old are you, militant mindset? Seriously, give me your age before I kick you out. Raps Love saying, don't worry, the players know how big our players are and talented. Exactly, that's right. David's cutting them out. That's right. No. Yeah, we're just gonna cut you out, man. Seriously, you're a waste of time. We don't like people that just repeat the same bullshit, especially when it's stupid shit. Like this, just dumb shit. You're just wasting our time, bro. Let's see. Quick Takes saying, easy on the Pascal, better than Giannis talk. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Quick Takes. I'm not ready to say that. I'm not going to stand on that hill with you guys with Siakam yet. Let's see. Milton Mindset saying, you think your opinion outweighs the facts? Cool, Carlo. No, he's right. It's not the facts. It's not his opinion. We watched that shit. I was a huge Spurs fan. I was sad that they lost that year, but I was very happy when they got Tim Duncan. I was at Florida State at that time. And I went to Florida State basketball games, and I saw Tim Duncan playing for Wake Forest in person at a Florida State versus Wake Forest game. And I was like, this guy's really good. I hope he goes to a team I like. And boom, he was on the Spurs all of a sudden. And I was very happy. So, yeah, man, we were back there around then. That's why I want to know how old you are, motherfucker. Yeah, you sound like you might be like a little bit more Johnny come lately. Were you like 5 in 1999? Seriously, what were you, like 5 at that time or something? Were you even born? Let's just put it that way. David saying, anyways, welcome to the chat, Militant Mindset. Haven't seen you before. Have a good day, friend. Thank you, David. I'm going to give you a dunk for that. I'm going to give you a dunk. Dunk is, in some ways what David just did. He's being the bigger man, and I appreciate that, David. I know that in some ways, when him saying that is more insidious than him actually saying what he wants to say. I love it. I love it so much, David. That's awesome. Oh, my gosh. All right, whatever, Militant Mindset. I'm just going to kick you out, bro. You're done. You're gone, bro. You're not welcome in the Raptor Freak chat anymore. We don't like loser mindset. You gone. You gone. Yeah. All right, let's see. Carlos saying, so even if you're right, we have 4 talents that can change your team. That's 4 in 30 years. And you're banking on that when you tank? Yeah, it's stupid. It's a dumb mentality. It's a loser mentality. It's a stupid mentality. It's a dumb mindset. A dumb mindset. And if it's any kind of military mindset, it's stupid. That's right. Look. David's already put it in there. Do a diddy dum diddy do. That's right. We've seen it. All right, Raslov is saying, all right, I'm sorry we wasted our time with such an idiotic argument there. Ooh, we got Random Gamer today. All right, well, this is good. Philly fan did show up today, so we'll have to talk to him and see how he's doing. Rapslov saying, we need Pascal Siakam to put on a show tonight. There was so much hate in the score chat about him last game, and I love every player in a Raptors uniform. I was very, very upset about the hate. I don't know who that is. And are they Raptors fans? Or are they just idiots? Yeah, there's a lot of idiots in our fan nation, obviously. MSJ saying, as a Chev fan, you will get Rocket updates, Fred VanVleet updates, and I can deal with it. Makes a Raps fan further afield, and that's good in my book. Some friendly hating, laugh out loud. Can he shoot over 40%? Once again, it serves no purpose for us to come after Fred right now. It really doesn't, Chris. He's a legend we want to keep in good standings and build him up because he is an important part of our history. And his accomplishments shouldn't be sullied, and we should honor him. In some ways, I feel bad for Fred. And I don't want to make fun of him or laugh at him right at this. In some ways, it's a bully kind of thing to do. He's a little guy. Why do you want to pick on the little guy, Chris, so bad? Seriously, it doesn't serve anything for us. Seriously, bashing Fred doesn't help us. It puts his stock down worse. And in some ways, we want to champion and be the better people and honor him and protect him and love him because we should. He's a Raptors legend. And honestly, I'm not going to hate on him like I hated on Vince when he left. I'm not going to hate on Chris Bosh. I mean, I hate him on like I hated on Chris Bosh when he left. No, Fred's good standing. And it doesn't serve us or our history or our culture to bash him, Chris. So that's why I say stop. If Sheb wants to do it on his content, that's his right. But in some ways, I'm not going to allow it here. And we shouldn't do it here, honestly. Mohan's agreeing. We stagger breaks so production can keep happening. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. He likes that idea for efficiency. It's like, look, why can't we do this with when everybody goes to work? And then the traffic won't be so bad in the morning and people will get more time with their families. Some people that don't like to get up in the morning, they can sleep in a little bit and go a little later and get out of work a little later. In some ways that we really were smart, we could do this and organize this and make it happen. But the powers that be, the businesses, the fuckheads, they're not going to allow this because they want all things to be at the same time and all this bullshit. Nameless saying they ever decided to call travel calls on Giannis, it'd be a different story. Yeah, I can see that. Nameless saying effing guy moonwalks with the ball. He's doing some champagne walking out there. Carlos saying, yeah, travels and offensive fouls too. Yeah, I like it. Hopefully we can just beat them. Let's just beat the Bucks. Nameless saying, let Pascal skate with the basketball too. Watch what happens. That's right. He could do a lot if he could get extra steps nobody's looking at. Yeah. Pascal's at 245, I think, right now. Giannis is going to defer to Dame now more and more, as he should. Dame's their go-to guy. He's a guy who's more likely to make shots than Giannis. Giannis isn't as reliable. Jimmy's saying, what's up, y'all? I hope we dominate tonight, and I hope y'all have a great day. Go Raps. Woo! All right, Pope of Positivity, Jimmy Pope. We love seeing you, man. Let's go Raptors. MSJ saying, I don't get up for late people at the movies. I stay seated. What they do? Just step over you? I don't know. Fiercely saying, I sent a little pick-me-up note under one of his posts. No reply, but I hope he's doing well. In reference to Logical Raptors fanatic. Yeah, we wish you well, Mike. If you're watching me from time to time, we still think about you, and we miss your presence here. You're a great contributor to this channel, and we miss you, bro. Just come back, please. Now that the season's starting back up again, I hope you can come back. Fiercely saying, Philly's got the bomb. Yeah, I like it. Carlos saying, yeah, you would have to tank multiple years to get your pieces. Last year's Detroit tanked so bad and yet got third. That was so funny. I know. And who did they get in their draft pick? They got one of the Thompson twins. He's not even pretty good, but still, there's no guarantees in anything. And why would you lose on purpose if there's no guarantee of getting what you want? Nameless is saying, I don't know if Pascal is truly more impactful than Giannis, but the gap is much closer than people are led to believe. Can we at least agree on that? I'll completely agree on that, Nameless. I think that out of all the people in the NBA, Pascal's closer to Giannis than most of the NBA. I will say that right now. So I will completely agree with what you're saying. I think in some ways the accolades and the accomplishments of Giannis speak for themselves. Siakam has his own, but they're closer to Giannis than most people in the league. So I completely agree with what you're saying. Carlos saying Siakam has to prove this year for that Supermax. Yeah, he's got to step up, stat stuff. And if he plays an all-round game this year, this badass, he'll get it. He'll get it. MSJ saying V-Web and the Spurs. The Spurs were told by the NBA he was coming their way. The NBA is above doing that. I think not. It just made sense. And I don't care even if the NBA fixed it and gave Wemby to the Spurs. I'm glad. I love the Spurs. Even if it was fixed, frozen envelope, Patrick Ewing style, I don't give a shit. He's in the right team. If he was on the Rockets, he'd be on the wrong team. It'd be really bad for the future of the NBA. So they can't fumble his ball with Victor. Send him to Popovich. Send him to a place where he'll be taken care of, and he'll be a sound player for sure. You send him to the Rockets, he could be a bust, and it could fuck up the superstar budding in Victor Wembanyama. So, yeah, they had some invested interest in him funneled to the Spurs. So you tell me, was the Rockets tanking last year smart? No, it wasn't, because they weren't going to get him. No, they weren't. Carlos saying, that's probably true. I can see Houston and Detroit ruining Wemby if they got him. It's exactly right. I think both those teams have a track record of mishandling young players and not handling them right and them going other places and doing better. So, yeah, it says, all right, random gamers here, guys. Oh, man, the process died the night I heard, is this the dagger? Oh, man, I feel for you, random gamer. You're one of my favorite Philly fans in the whole entire world. I appreciate you. I feel for you guys losing a 1-point loss last night in the last second to the Bucks last night. At least it was on their court. And hopefully you can get some get back against the Bucks the next time you play them. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, though. I hope you'll come and join us tomorrow, Random Gamer, for our preview for the game. Respect to you, Sixers fan. One of the ones we love and is awesome. Nameless is saying, I believe Pascal is about to be paid like Giannis. I don't want him to get paid that much. That's like a super max. Like, that's way too much money for Siakam. We don't want to do that, Nameless. That'll really mess up our salary cap. We don't want to do that. We don't want him getting Giannis money in some ways. Giannis had to get a certain level of money to get to that money. And Siakam has to get that level first before he can get to that Giannis level. That Giannis level is like super, super max. Carlos saying, rest in peace, the process, 2015 to 2019. Yes, rest in peace. Pray for it. Fiercely saying, my bad, Lex. No more C word. Yeah, it's just something I hate that word in particular at this point. I feel like it's a loser kind of word. And it's an easy excuse for people to start wallowing in losses and weirdness and making an excuse for why we lost. We ain't building no legends of C's. There ain't no C's around this team. We run things right. We're healthy. We have good vibes with Darko. There ain't no reason to have that word around our team in any kind of capacity. And that's why I say to any kind of Raptors fan out there, don't use the C word or the T word. Neither word is good. Tanking or curse. Neither one of those words are good. Nope, get them out of your vocabulary. That's what I'm saying. Chris comes here. Good to see the great Chris come. Game number 2. Let's go. Bulls had a player-only meeting after the first game. Laugh out loud. They need to get ready for another players-only meeting after they lose the Raptors tonight. I love Criscom's prediction. I'll take it. You want them to have another players-only meeting tonight? I love it, Criscom. Top saying it nameless. I can agree on that. The gap is closer than people think between Giannis and Pascal. But if you replace Pascal with Giannis, we're getting past the play-in. I don't know if that's totally true. I don't know if that's totally true. I can't say if that's totally true top to top. It could be, though. It could be. Wayne saying, let's focus on our game tonight and in-season competition. Exactly. And stop the loser talk. That's right. No more loser talk today. We've had our quota. Nameless is saying, unless they give Giannis that Canadian treatment, too. And laughing at Carlo. Quick Take saying, tell him, Lex, we aren't tanking to get Cooper Flag. Like, who the fuck is that? Cooper Flag. Who the fuck is that? He sounds like a G.I. Joe character. Let's go get Cooper Flag. He's got his adjustable kung fu grip, and he's got all the guns. You got to get him. Yeah, G.I. Joe, Cooper Flag. No, we don't want him. Quick Take saying at Carlo, 100% true. Let Washington get him. Yeah, let the Wizards get him. It sounds like a great name for being in the nation's capital. Cooper Flag, American. Carlos saying, yeah, that was so funny. Houston and Detroit tanked so hard last year, and they were sure they were going to get Wemby. Ha, ha, ha. You get Scoot. You get Brandon Miller. You get a Thompson twin. That's what you get. Cool Cat saying, guilty. I'm a Tom Brady fan. I followed him to Tampa, and now I don't watch the NFL anymore. I'll go back to watching Super Bowl show only. Hilarious. I called Cool Cat right there. I know quite a few ladies that are Tom Brady first fans, and they definitely went to Tampa with him from New England. Yeah, and now she's not watching at all now that Brady's retired. Hilarious. That's good stuff. I love you, Cool Cat, so much. I love you so much. Carlos saying the only projected generationals were LBJ and Wemby. The other ones were surprises like Steph. Yeah, we didn't see Steph coming up like this. Nobody could have predicted Steph. There's nobody tanking for Steph. You know, you think you tank for Wemby? Sure, there was a little bit of weirdness last year. But in some ways, once again, I'll say what I said about the Spurs, what they did. Carlos saying, and probably Kawhi. No, you can't say Kawhi. Kawhi wasn't a guaranteed slam dunk coming in. He wasn't a highly prized person that they knew he's going to turn into this. Popovich kind of made Kawhi into who he was in his early years. Giannis is another one. In some ways, we can see Giannis has potential, but there's no guarantees with him. Certain guys are guaranteed like slam dunks, like Shaquille O'Neal, Victor Wembanyama, LeBron James. You can see them coming in, and you're like, yeah, this guy's going to change the game. You can't say that about Steph. Nobody knew Steph Curry was going to change the game like he did with a three-point line. You can't even say that about Giannis. Giannis is a project. For all we know, he could have been the Greek Bruno Caboclo. Seriously, he could have turned out like the Greek Bruno Caboclo. There's no guarantee on Anaconto. No, there wasn't. Let's see. Quick Take saying tanking is hidden thing the last 10 years. It's not really hidden, though. It's not. It's very blatant. You can see when it's happening. You can kind of tell when it's happening. And only loser teams have done it. The Raptors have consistently been against tanking. Somebody can say we tanked in Tampa, but no, we held players out because it was the end of the year and we didn't want to injure them. Kyle Lowry didn't play the end of his Raptors career because in some ways it's like, what's the point? We're in Tampa. These fans suck. And why do we want to give them a good show anyway? Daryl Turner saying, hey, Raptors freak, good morning, my guy. Let's all simmer down, folks, with a full, complete thought instead of half a thought and think with logic and real context are the arguments today. Thank you. Yeah, too much back and forth, Daryl, and I appreciate you kind of grounding me once again. Yeah, I got a little. In fact, I'm almost at 12 minutes before 3 hours, so I need to finish up the stream, guys. Carlos saying tanking will probably work if you're the only one who does it and takes the league by surprise, but that ship has sailed. In some ways, the Spurs were, not tanking, but they were just on another level of bad when David was out. Stargate saying his name should be Tank Commander instead of Militant Mindset. Yeah, I think that's a good change. Carlos saying, I love that Admiral and Tim Duncan combo. It was a really fun combo, and I enjoyed it too. Carlos saying, it showed my age when I said I was watching Spurs guy Duncan. It's all good. We're all old heads here, Carlo. We're not with the newer generation that doesn't understand the old school. If you didn't watch Bird and Magic, if you didn't watch Michael in his prime, then you're probably not on the right channel. If you're a youngster that wants to know the history and hear from some old heads, you're on the right channel. But if you're a newer fan that's only been watching, if you were born after 2000, yeah, you don't really know basketball. I'll just say that. Most people that are born after 2000 do not understand the history of basketball. I'm just going to say that right now. That's just the damn truth. Let's see. Quick take saying militant guy failed to prove his point. Well, I need the annotated bibliography by 3:00 today. And if he sends it to me and I can look it over and I can see he cited his references, then we can maybe take some weight in what he said. Yeah. Yeah. Random gamer saying, dang, bro, actually just ate up half the chat. That's wild. Bro was willing to die on that hill alone. Random gamer, I'm giving you a dunk because I love you, man. I love that. Honestly, the camaraderie that we can have between teams is so awesome. And Random Gamer is on here already. He's got a dunk from before. So he's getting his second dunk. That's right. We give dunks to Sixers too. Let's see. Fiercely saying Militant Mindset extended Lex Check by 20 minutes. I know. That's some bullshit. I hate that. I don't like wasting time on jabronis. David saying Stargate is right. If his name was Tank Commander, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad. Yeah, I can get behind that. Y'all can pile on him. It's just a dumb hill to stand on. Trevor saying maybe that guy's on his monthly. That's why he's acting like that. Yeah. Carlos saying, nah, there's actually people that love when their team tanks and die with envy when they see other teams with young lottery draft picks. Once again, I'm going to say these are people that were born after 2000, and they're not very smart. Carlos saying they think that Sam Presti is a good god tier with his so many picks. I know people that think Sam Presti's awesome. You're crazy. Now, I found this out recently, and this is actually kind of cool, and this may actually help us in some ways. Darko is very close with Sam Presti, apparently, guys. He's best friends with him because, he worked for the Oklahoma City Thunder for a while, and apparently Sam Presti's a big fan of Darko. So this can't hurt us. Oklahoma City Thunder's GM is notorious for being one of the hard asses in this league and very tough to deal with. Well, we may curry some favor from the Thunder in certain ways because our coach is liked by Sam Presti. So there's a little information that you guys may have not known. They're like this. Darko and Sam Presti are very close friends. Their families dine together. That's not a bad thing. I'm telling you. A random gamer saying Sam Presti. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A long, long time. Well, he's running Oklahoma City. And he's got a lot of picks. That's for sure. David saying, I feel for you, random gamer. Watching Joel last night must have really hurt your soul. Seriously, good luck with your season. And Nick Nurse, yikes. And random gamer saying, thanks, David. These are tough times right now. But on the positive, Maxey looks really freaking good. Excited to see how far he can take his game this year. I'm thinking all-star level. I think he could be an all-star this year. I think that's realistic, especially if James is not around and he becomes more of the second banana behind Joel. I think that y'all may need to rely on him more. He can fit Nick's system. He's your best player that can go forward with Nick in the future. But in some ways, the writing's on the wall with Joel. I hate it in some ways for you guys because I know y'all really wanted this experiment with Embiid to work out. But it's been really crazy, the history with him and you guys, the things that have happened around your team. And I feel for you, man. In some ways, I never thought I'd have sympathy for Sixers Nation, but Random Gamer gets it from me and from David, obviously, too. Carlos saying, Tyrese, stupid, sexy Maxey. Ooh, you hate him because he's sexy? David saying, Maxey has always looked good. I'm just about Nick Nurse and Joel holding him back. You're worried about that happening. Yeah, I can see that. Fiercely wants an alley-oop to Stargate in reference to the Tank Commander comment. I'll give that Stargate. There's an alley-oop from Fiercely to Stargate. Where is Stargate on here? I know Stargate's on here. There's Stargate getting the sixth dunk of the game. Yeah, I like that Tank Commander comment. That's pretty good. Let's see. Carlos saying, I can see Nurse riding Maxey and Oubre. Yeah, these made the most Nick Nurse type players on the team. Interesting stuff from PJ Tucker, still the 0-0 and a lot of defensive stuff. And Tobias, that's another person who's going to have to figure out how he fits with Nick. in some ways. I could see Nick throwing Tobias under the bus in an interview, and there are going to be some problems from that. Because Tobias Harris may not be consistent all year, and if he doesn't get the right effort out of him, Nick will throw him under the bus in the media. And that may not work so well in Philadelphia. In Toronto, you might be able to get away with it and doesn't cause waves, but in Philly, it may be more of a problem. Very much may be a problem. Carlos saying, yeah, I saw that Darko article. Darko had to empty his savings to treat Sam Presti dinner, and Sam Presti paid it back. Good article. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, he's like emptied his money out of his bank account to take him to dinner. It's hilarious. Yeah, and Fiercely saying, as long as he doesn't come hire our Darko in reference to Presti, I'm not worried about this in the least. I can tell you already. I can tell a real one. Real one can see a real one. And Darko Rajakovic is a Raptor for life now, guys. We gave him his first shot, and he's always going to be appreciative to us. Everything here works real well for him. He loves the Serbian community of Toronto, and he's like a champion and MVP and a part of it now all of a sudden, and they love him being here. He's already living in an area of Toronto where there are Serbian people and Serbian restaurants and stuff that he can have a taste of home. So his wife and his son, they love this place already. And in some ways, I'm telling you right now, there's certain kinds of people that you can tell are super loyal kind of people. And Darko's one of those guys. He's a Raptor for life as long as we will have him. He won't do any kind of weird shit like Nick did. He won't stab us in the back. He's that kind of guy. It's just how he is. And I can say the same thing about Scott, and to a degree. More and more I see Scotty and around Scotty, I feel like he's a very loyal person too. And both these guys, the Raptors, are their first team to do what they're doing. And that goes a long way with loyalty. Let me just trust you on that. Let me just trust you on that. Yeah. Let's see. Country Kong saying, Lex, you missed my comment. It's all good. I hope it's not way back there. Holy crap. There's so much in here. And it's a lot of comments today. Country Kong, all respect. I love you, bro, and I'm sorry. Whatever it is, write it in again real quick right now. I'll read it right now because we're right at the end. David's saying, Random Gamer is a real one, even if he's a Philly fan. He's sincere and doesn't come in here and just say stupid childish shit. I really do like Random Gamer. And we like having fans from other teams interact with us. We really do. And we don't want to chase them around. We want to be an NBA community to a degree. Nuggets fan, Hornets fan, Celtics fan, Sixers fan. You guys are all welcome here. And we like interacting with you guys. Now, tankers, we don't like you. No, we ain't having no tanking in here. No, we're not. You love to Fiercely from Stargate. Carlos saying, have we finally found our Coach Pop? It could be. I don't know if he's like Coach Pop exactly, but I like what he's showing, Carlo, with your green hearts. Fiercely saying, Country Kong is right. Although we beat them in preseason, they took it seriously. Yeah. No, Carlo, we found our Darko. That's right. Nobody else other than Darko. Yeah, the preseason game matters. We got some looks at them. We got some tests against them. But in some ways, as a whole, wipe the slate clean. This is the regular season, and there's a difference. We can take some of the stuff we learned from winning against the Bulls last week, but it really is a whole other level and a different thing. Now, in some ways, we got reinforcements with our centers coming back, with Jakob and Precious available now. All right, let me do some more house cleaning real quick before we get out of here. The referees, the NBA referees are doing an AMA right now. I guess I'm too late. The referees have asked me anything going on X right now. So you guys could have asked the referees questions at 11, but I talked too long, and that was an hour and a half ago. Sorry. Chris Boucher, Instagram check. He's got a picture of a guy in a hospital bed and it says, sick of these hoes. And I don't know if he's talking about what happened recently with him. But Chris, come on, you're going to get your chance. And then he's putting on blast the Raptors are in the community, giving out jackets and things to kids at school. And that's awesome. We see Don's putting on blast his company, Your City. It's a clothing company. So go support that. We got Grady with a picture of him with Precious. Precious posting a picture of him and Grady. I love to see the team camaraderie between Precious and Grady. There it is. A picture of both of them talking to each other at practice. And then there's a picture on Precious of the four guys walking off the court. Scotty, Precious, Gary, and Jalen McDaniels coming off the court in an awesome, very dramatic way. Dennis Schroeder wants you to go watch his new YouTube clip from yesterday about the home opener game. It's fantastic. It's fire. Go watch it. You'll see Dennis's comments on the home opener, on the energy in the crowd, and just all the good time stuff. Dennis's clips are the best. He's a must follow, guys. You need to follow Dennis right away. I see 17 hours ago, he's in his hotel room in Chicago. He's got a really nice suite. That's a very nice suite he's in right now. Now, Batia showing off all the great Raptor shirts before the game the other day. We see Ron Harper Jr. putting Koloko on blast Grady did this to Koloko. It's not very nice. He apparently at one point at the Halloween party the other night, Koloko got Grady's brother's shaggy wig and he put it on his head and he's wearing it. And now Ron Harper Jr. and other people are sharing it on social media. So if you want to see Koloko with nice, weird red hair, it's really weird. But it looks funny. And Koloko's kind of like, why are you doing this to me, guys? Why are you doing this to me? It's kind of where he's at with it. So and let's see. Siakam's got him coming through the alleyway, coming into the game. And then a highlight of him making a dunk before the game. Really, really cool stuff from him. I love seeing Siakam happy and in good places. All kinds of stuff going on. Oh, and somebody made a picture of Siakam out of Rubik's Cubes. You know this Rubik's Cube art where they twist the Rubik's Cube to different colors and then they stack them all up and it makes a picture. Well, somebody made Siakam's portrait in Rubik's Cubes, which is very, very cool. You can see that on his Instagram stories if you're interested in seeing that. All right. And then they have the Raptors in the day of the life for Siakam when he went to Augusta Park and dedicated that PS43 court. So there's your Raptors Instagram check, getting it in right before the 3 hours real fast. Serge Ibaka has a new song out on YouTube. It's called What It Do, Baby. And it's got Kawhi Leonard featured in it. And it really is around that time when Serge and Kawhi, after the championship, said, What It Do, Baby. I would say check it out. The song is fire. And Serge, you're awesome with your Afro beats and putting Kawhi in there as a sample. There's an article on ESPN this morning about the Raptors and Ben Uzo and his connection to Masai Ujiri from their Nigerian roots. Of course, Ben Uzo is a former Raptor who has a triple-double with our team. He's a part-time scout last year, and now he's a full-time scout with the Raptors. And they're talking about his connection and his path with the Raptors organization. Ben is a very nice guy. Tom Duke and I met him last year after Raptors Tonight, and it's cool to see an article about him on ESPN this morning. So there you go. There's a little bit of checking around. I guess it's now time to wrap it up here, guys. Happy Friday again, everyone. Happy game day alert. And let's do the marquee main event matchup. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chicago, Illinois, and the United Center for a special exhibition competition between the Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls. Tonight's competition is a special Bridgestone Tire Challenge. The competitors will be throwing footballs through 6 tires down at the end of this field, and whoever gets their footballs through the 6 tires first will win the Bridgestone Tire Challenge. First of all, the competitor for the Chicago Bulls from Compton, California, 6'6", 220 pounds, from USC, DeMar DeRozan. And now coming out to the competition field for the Bridgestone Tire Challenge, the representative for the Toronto Raptors, Mr. Binoculars from West Palm Beach, Florida, 6'11", 240 pounds, from Florida State. He is Scotty Wayne Barnes, who will win this base football challenge. I've seen DeMar DeRozan recently at the Bears practice facility throwing the football with the Chicago Bears, and he has an arm. I'm going to tell you right now, Jim. Well, I have heard some things about DeMar DeRozan's arm also recently, that this man could have played in the NFL from what I hear. We've also seen Scotty throw some amazing long passes in Raptors games to players like Gary Trent Jr. So maybe Scotty may have an arm on him also. We'll have to find out next time on the main event marquee matchup. There you go. There's your main event marquee matchup. It's a Bridgestone Tire Challenge where they throw the footballs down the field through the tires. So there you go. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. A long preview today, 3-hour preview. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch it at 1.5 speed if you're not watching me live. I appreciate everybody being here. And I'll be back tomorrow for a reaction for the game tomorrow. And then we got to preview the Sixers game also tomorrow night, which I will be in attendance at tomorrow night in the arena at Scotiabank Arena for Nick Nurse's homecoming to Toronto against us with the Sixers. I appreciate y'all coming. Once again, the injuries are Koloko is out tonight, and so is Lonzo Ball. That's pretty much it. Everybody else is healthy for both teams. Our referees tonight are a cop, a lawyer, and a doctor. Jason Goebel, crew chief, Brent Bernecki, and Sayesh Mehta are our referees, and this ref crew favors the Bulls, just so y'all know. All right, enjoy your day, TGIF. Get out there and get stuff done and enjoy a great Raptors victory later, hopefully. All right, y'all, I appreciate every one of y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back tomorrow. Let's Go Raptors. Let's beat the Bulls, baby. Let's beat the Bulls. No tanking, motherfucker. Tank commander, you're out of here, motherfucker. No tanking, bitch. No.